when enrolling in Mobile Plus Home Discount.
Are you worried about the state of the economy? Concerned about market crashes and rising inflation wiping out your savings? At Noble Gold Investments, we understand your fears and have a solution. Call us today at 1-888-403-1050. Imagine safeguarding you and your family with a tangible asset that has stood the test of time. Gold. With Noble Gold Investments, you can diversify your portfolio and protect your wealth from economic turmoil. Our team will guide you through the process, ensuring you make informed decisions that best suit your needs. Call Noble Gold Investments today at 1-888-403-1050. That's 1-888-403-1050. The future is uncertain. Take control now. Call 1-888-403-1050.
Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-790-1400. 800-790-1400.
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie. When you use Angie for your home projects, you know all your jobs will be done well. Roof repair? Done well. Kitchen sink install? Done well. Deck upgrades? Done well. Electrical upgrade? Done well. Angie's been connecting homeowners with skilled pros for nearly 30 years, so we know the difference between done and done well. Hire high-quality, certified pros at Angie.com.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
All right, good Wednesday. It is Dom time. As Dawn says, we have the chief guy who has really been looking for a platform to speak out about walls over the years and what he did when it came to the National Guard. But the media is working overtime today. They actually had a guy on Morning Joe say that this guy, Walls, is going to teach white people. Yes, he's a white person teacher about how you ought to react to having a black boss. That's the future. You know, these are the people wrapping the future in these gigantic terms of, oh my God, things are going to change and you're going to be kept down, so to speak. And then when they get that reaction of people, they blame Trump. They're also working overtime, the media today, and we'll play you a lot of this, to do a couple of things. One, to make Walls the most relatable. Midwest, that's all that he is. Socialism with a happy face. They're not saying that. They're just saying, here's a guy in a hunting hat. You know, sit down and talk with him. It's not socialism. It's just being neighborly. Despite the fact that he allowed Minneapolis, to burn. His wife is a piece of work, too. We'll play what she said as it was burning. And Dan, you talk about weird. This guy's tapped into this. Don't you think it's kind of weird to be honeymooning in communist China? You think you're saying, hey, Maisie, communist China is looking great today.
I really like wonton soup, so I'd consider it.
You might consider it, yeah. Well, now Bernie Sanders honeymooned in the Soviet Union, which arguably is bleaker. But what kind of wife is saying, yeah, that's a ticket? Apparently Walls, over 30 years, has taken groups of college or high school age students to communist China.
Oh.
All expenses paid. Why? Indoctrination. He has said they're not our adversary even. They're going to be our partner. Wow, this guy's a piece of work. The honeymoon in communist China. Roe didn't even say to me, well, do they have beaches? That would be the first requirement there, you know.
I was just like, heck no.
Yeah, of course. Who wants to go to communist China? You know, if you said China, I have no desire to go to Asia. I'm not sure why, but I don't. But years ago, if you had said China, the Far East, all that stuff, can't say the Orient. I never remember saying that. I don't even know if you can say Oriental rugs anymore, given everything. Maybe you shouldn't be, but anyhow.
They do have beaches in China, by the way.
They do have beaches in China.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice ones, too.
China is our existential enemy. China, under the Communist Chinese, is the enemy of the world. They gave us COVID. They didn't tell us about it. They were happy about the results of a lot of this. They are scheming day and night, be it TikTok or whatever. They are the enemy. They're the enemy of the world. They're the biggest existential threat that we've ever seen. Not to walls. Let's go to China and let's go on our hunting. Let me show you my photos with Prime Minister Xi in China. Can you imagine? From the honeymoon.
Over a pina colada, me and G.
Yes. Yeah, how romantic that must have been.
Miami Vice.
So they're also working overtime, though, to try to dispel what they're actually calling this myth, that Josh Shapiro did not get the nod, even though it's an obvious thing, because Josh Shapiro might have upstaged her or there wasn't a good vibe. He didn't know his place as a VP. Now, I'm going to play you Jake Tapper, who's also Jewish, on CNN with this woman who just is a perfect example of it. A large part of why Shapiro didn't get an obvious choice, thank God, is he's Jewish. And Dan, maybe a little nuance here. I don't even know it's quite about Israel with some of the mob, because Shapiro and Walls are pretty much in the same spot when it comes to Israel. It's more about the fact that he had the nerve to speak out against these mobs on college campuses and try to put an end to it at Penn. That's what they really hold against him. Remember the woman, Goldie, you can hide. Yep. Remember he spoke out for the Jewish community, and rightfully so. That's what enrages them. Can you imagine? So here's a little bit of Tapper. Now, he's a big guy at CNN, one of the four biggest, with this pesky contributor, or she might be a full-time CNN employee, trying to do what the media is tying themselves into knots. Now, I'm going to be an inside story, Dan, on Friday, and I'm expecting by one or two people on the other side of the panel to try to say, it's not because he's Jewish. I mean, what in the world do you need to know here? But listen to this exchange with Tapper and the woman trying to say, it's not because he was Jewish.
And I think ultimately, Shapiro, I think fit is important. But, I also think that when you look at the principle of do no harm, maybe they did say, in a state like Minnesota, do we want to, those 100,000 uncommitted voters who came out about the Gaza war, do we want to antagonize those voters? Those are all part of the questions as well.
So, but can I just say,
Tim Walz also spoke conciliatorily towards those people. He said, look, that uncommitted vote is significant and those people should be heard. So having that kind of response, I think, is probably more of an open door to the parts of the party that have been very frustrated with the Democrats.
So, but just to one point on the Gaza war, Shapiro has the same position on Israel that Governor Walz, that Senator Kelly has. He's actually been more critical of Netanyahu than the other two, but he is Jewish.
He's also the face of the crackdown on the protests, right? He spoke very vehemently about those campus protests as being anti-Semitic.
Not all of them. The ones that were anti-Semitic, he criticized as being anti-Semitic.
But he was out front on the issue. So I'm wondering if that's the kind of thing that, again, for the activist wing of the party, they felt was a slap in the face.
Yeah, but I also think that there are a lot of similarities in their actual positions, Tim Walz and Josh Shapiro, towards all of what you are talking about, the Israel-Hamas war, Netanyahu, that point to challenges based around the Pennsylvania governor's faith. And I think that that's been something, certainly I've talked to Democratic members of Congress who have kind of said that in a straightforward way.
Now, they're trying also, Dan, if you notice here, they're trying to spin it to say that America is not ready for someone Jewish. No, you're not ready for it. They get away with this all the time. Well, we have a black woman on there. Now you're going to put a Jewish guy. The country's bigoted. No, they're the bigots. And one of the biggest crazy lunatic bigots went down yesterday by about 7 points. Corey Bush, beaten, squad member. The squad's gotten bigger. Bowman, I don't know how Bowman's a male, at least as far as I know, the fire the fire alarm puller. He was a member of the squad at one point that got in there. She got roundly beaten yesterday. The lesson, that's the wing of the party is saying, it was Jewish money that beat them. This is always going to be where they're anti-Semitic, they're anti-Jewish, they're anti-Israel. And that's the major reason Josh Shapiro didn't get it. Why is it important? Because the media is allowing them to run away from that. That's what the intent is. And here is their big push, though, that I wanted to deconstruct and tell you what I think Republicans ought to do. This is cut 13, Dan. Or wait a minute, it's cut 14B. We skipped over one, I think.
Yeah, we don't do 13.
Yeah. Oh, okay, that's unlucky.
Yeah, that's what it is today, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's like we're vacationing in China.
Here is Walls. Here's Walls last night at Leopold Center. Now, Christie tried this. Picture for a moment what he's saying here. He's saying that if you are a parent, nutbag, and you want a 10-year-old to get his genitals cut off because they say they're transgendered, why would Republicans interfere with that? Just like they interfere with abortion. So they're going to run on saying they are the Freedom Party ticket. And I'll tell you why something in the news today undercuts that. Here's Walls.
Some of us are old enough to remember when it was Republicans who were talking about freedom. It turns out now what they meant was the government should be free to invade your doctor's office. In Minnesota, we respect our neighbors and their personal choices that they make. Even if we wouldn't make the same choice for ourselves, there's a golden rule. Mind your own damn business.
Yeah, said the architect of the snitch line. All right, we played you the snitch line yesterday they set up during COVID. I mean, this guy just crawls with it. Here is his wife talking in an interview, I think shortly after the summer, the fires that were burning. This is 7. How she left her windows open during the riots so she could smell the tires burning. Dan, one of your favorite phrases, virtue signaling. This woman probably enjoyed going to commie China. I can see in a row. Come on, Ro, honeymoon. You wanted to go to exotic places, Miami Beach, or even some luxury, whatever. No. We're going to commie China. I got it all set. We love the wonton soup. You do too.
I do.
Yeah.
Wonton noodle soup, roast pork.
Here's the wife joining in, and these are relatable Americans, leaving the windows open in her enclave, which was guarded, so she can smell the fires after the George Floyd summer.
I would say those first days, when there were riots, I could smell the burning tires. And that was a very real thing. And I kept the windows open for as long as I could because I felt like that was such a touchstone of what was happening.
So keeping the windows open to identify with the people, her privilege. She's smelling the burning tires. Hey, lady, those were businesses. Those were homes. Those were people that were being brutalized. And you and your husband went with the myth, well, this is the riots. She called them riots, by the way. This insurrection is a long time coming, and it's deserved. Just don't burn down our house. I want to smell the tires, though. Man.
That's probably a little bit of a, brain cell damage there, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that too. That explains.
Just leaving the doors open.
All right. So one other thing, and then I'll give you the side question.
Yeah, let's sniff the burning rubber.
I mentioned that we found out that this activist group has tens of thousands of doctors registering people to vote in their role as doctors, including many patients at the Pennsylvania Psychiatric Institute, an 89-bed facility affiliated with Penn State University, where people mandatorily are set because of substance abuse, schizophrenia. They cannot complete activities of daily living, but they say they're going to get them to vote. This is what we're up against. So don't look away. Linda Kearns, the Secretary of Defense when it comes to voter integrity, will be here later in the show. She's looking into, is this ballot harvesting? And it's not just here in Pennsylvania. It's across the country, this network of doctors trying to get people to vote. Now, do they do that universally? Or is this a front group? Well, the people that support this, it's called Voter, VOT-ER, are funded by all the usual progressive groups. These progressives know their voters. Criminals, people that sadly are experiencing mental difficulties. They want 14-year-olds to vote. You can look at this one of two ways. I get emails all the time after this of people that just give up. Why even try? They're going to beat us. Or you could say, hell no, we're not going to be beaten by this rabble, particularly here in Pennsylvania. One other thing. I don't know if Shapiro took a look at Harris up close and all that was going on and thought she's not going to win, or he doesn't want her. He certainly doesn't want her to win, because then he'd have to wait 8 years. His plan is to serve out this term, 1 year the next or so, I guess, and then run for president in the next election. If she's still the incumbent, he can't do that. So what kind of calculus did he make here? Their calculus was, he'll upstage her. She's bad. He's good. He's Jewish. We don't want that. That's what it comes down to, no matter how much the media wants to spin this. Side question, in honor, this guy is a godsend. Usually, one day after the VP, we're over it. We move on. This guy is a gift that's going to keep on giving forever. Walls, hit us with something you associate with the Midwest.
Distinctly Midwest.
Yeah, it could be a film from a film. It could be a scene. It could be a book. It could be a TV show. Could be a person. It could be a thing. I identify Fargo with it, the way they talk in there. One of my favorite all-time shows. And I identify with it, Dan, freezing, cold, constantly.
See, I don't think you're thinking of the right Midwest, because you're thinking of solely North Dakota and Minnesota. But when you think of Iowa or Illinois or Indiana or Minnesota, it's
maybe not Indiana.
It's not that freezing. It's kind of similar to our temperature here. It's the same climate.
Okay, I think Iowa's pretty cold. You saw the Iowa caucuses. Oh man, it was brutal. But Indiana, I would agree, doesn't strike me. It's temperate. It's a balmy 30 most times, yeah.
Like Missouri, I would also consider Midwest.
Yeah, Missouri's Midwest.
And if you look on it on a map, it's almost more south than we are.
All right, well, then I'll throw in beef. I associate beef, cow tipping beef with it, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's got to be the big beef
It's more
producer.
south, like Texas, but...
Yeah.
I think corn or soy is probably the biggest produced
definitely
products out of the Midwest.
I said these beefy-looking guys saying "da Bears." I associate that with the Midwest.
Yes, yeah. How about Roseanne out of Chicago?
Perfect.
Yeah,
that's perfect.
Tractor pulls were huge when I was out in Indiana.
Oh God!
It seems like all over the Midwest, tractor pulls and the 4-H fair. You know a 4-H here, but it's nothing when you compare it to what you see out there in Iowa, Indiana. It's like a whole festival that people gather for. Keggers in the middle of cornfields. You don't see that out here in New Jersey. That's distinctly in the Midwest. Some films. How about Hoosiers? I'll take off and finally Breaking Away, the film about the bikers down there at Indiana University.
Yeah, I like Roseanne the best at it. I like that a lot. I think that fits. Big time. The others are good, too. So hit us with that. Something coming out of the Midwest. Associate, person, place, thing, movie, TV. That's your side question today. And this is a real chance for the Trump campaign to reset. Let's face it. They were fumbling around because of Harris coming in and the media wave and all that stuff. Now, with this guy, it's a really good chance to reset. Does he get away with the story? Does he get away with socialism with a happy face? Or do you see how radical this guy is, which then brings us back to a Harris? They're in sync. All right, 855-839-1210, AT&T, and Verizon Wireless. By the way, who gets to say y'all? Now, Dan and I had a little dispute on this. He thinks he does because he was in Indiana for a while, and he says it. Josh Shapiro is a guy growing up in Montgomery County, Abington. Last night, y'all.
What are y'all talking about?
Yeah, y'all. He said, he led in the speech.
How y'all doing?
How does that guy get to do that? I thought it was Southern, African American. Who else can say y'all? It's a hip thing rather than saying a dumb you all. You all know. Hi, you all know. But he's y'all.
I associate y'all with the townies that I knew back in Indiana that, or the people on the farm. That they'd say, how y'all doing? I
think to be in the Democrat Party, you have to practice the bro hug. I don't think I've ever seen Trump do the bro hug with anybody,
Oh, Sue says she's been to a kegger in a cornfield here, so we might have to take that one off the answer list now.
I think it's pretty good. I'm not doing that just for one straight kegger.
How about a Dom Giordano kegger in a cornfield?
Okay. Sounds like a plan. 855-839-1210. That's how you get on board. This guy is incredible. He's infuriating to me for the obvious reasons. And we're going to have a guy on today who served with him in the National Guard, the governor of Minnesota, when he didn't want to go to Iraq all of a sudden. And Vance is being criticized today for comparing his military service to Walz. Really? He was in Iraq. All right, 855-839-1210. Get in now with Dom and Dan on Talk Radio 1210.
The Phillies are hot.
The pitch swung on. In the air, deep left center field. And that ball is gone as Alec Bohm has turned the game around.
And Friday night, you'll hear them here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
And the pitch blasted down the right field line, and that ball is gone. Harper has hit the 3-run home run to break it wide open.
Catch the Phils and the Arizona Diamondbacks. Coverage starts Friday night at 9:05 here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT and on the free Odyssey app.
Cancer, a scary word, but not so scary if you have the right team. Hi, this is John DeMasi, host of Health Watch, Sundays at 8 and again at 4 here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. And that team is Dr. Molly Fantasia and the medical staff at Innovative Medical Associates. Yes, cancer is a scary word and a difficult condition if you've been diagnosed. Over the years, the staff at Innovative Medical Associates has helped hundreds of patients with their unique medical hydration protocols. Cancer support is a large part of the practice at Innovative Medical Associates.
We believe in medical hydration. We've improved it so much that we are able to help people across the board with challenges before they become chronic.
Talk about improving your quality of life. Most likely, that'll happen when you visit Innovative Medical Associates. Check them out on the web at innovativemedicalassociates.com or call 856-489-0505 to schedule your initial complimentary consultation.
Mr. Joe Conklin with the City Rhythm Orchestra.
Joel Embiid is excited.
The process marches on.
Oh, George, welcome to Philadelphia.
Morris, hallelujah.
See Joe Conklin and the City Rhythm Orchestra at Cherokee High School in Marlton, New Jersey, Saturday, October 26th. For tickets, go to joeconklin.com.
The Sixers will prevail.
Oh, baby.
joeconklin.com.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, they'll fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hi, everyone. Matt here from Emmons Roofing and Siding. There are a lot of companies out there that say they do roofing, siding, windows, and doors. Some good, some not so good. Be careful of those that say buy two, get two free. Does that really make sense? Think about it. At Emmons, we don't offer gimmicks, just quality products installed by our experienced craftsmen. We do offer 12-month same as cash financing, though. That's not a gimmick. That's because we know how tough it is for some people right now to get these projects done. If you need roofing, siding, or windows and doors, call us for a free estimate today at 856-885-6677 or visit us at callemmons.com.
Hey, Cherry Hill. We know your favorite station is WPHT. Tell your smart speaker, play 1210 WPHT.
All right, Dom Giordano's show. Welcome in. So realize by not picking Josh Shapiro, the case I would make, Kamala Harris has to sweep Michigan, Wisconsin, Nevada, Arizona, and Georgia if she doesn't win Pennsylvania. Michigan, Wisconsin, Nevada, Arizona, Georgia. There are at least 2 in there, maybe 3, that I think there's no shot. But that's how crazy it was. We're not putting Shapiro on the ticket. And the media just can't accept that. Even though he's their darling, they're spinning it now to protect her more, that he was asking for too much. Even the local media. Josh Shapiro's the darling of a lot of these people. But they're spinning it, no, it was his fault, not their anti-Semitism, not their anti-Israel. So they're willing to even sacrifice and make him the bad guy sort of here in what is an obvious choice. This is the first moment of a big decision that she choked. It gives the Bush people a chance at a reset. Now, I'm watching J.D. Vance today. He's taken more questions from reporters. They wouldn't dare question Kamala Harris in the same way they're questioning him. So my advice, Dan, is at a certain point he answers it, he pivots, and he just goes right at them, right at every single one of them, like the Inquirer types there. The disrespect, the manner in which they're asking it, the manner in which they're jumping on it, and he pivots, he does the Newt Gingrich. Yeah, I'll answer that question, buddy, but first, and let him have it. Go right down their throat with it. And then make the point, how many questions has Kamala Harris answered since she's been anointed, moved toward this? And the answer is 0. There is nothing. And if I were advising her, I've said this many times, I wouldn't have her answer anything. She can't. Go right at them. Answer the question, do the Gingrich, I'll answer the question, and then level them, like he did to John King and others you may remember when he ran for president. The Gingrich technique is just incredible. I'm watching some of this as he's answering questions again today, and their level, the way that they treat him and the things that they assume is not the way they would treat a Walz or certainly Kamala Harris. You're not going to hear a question like that. I mean, Lester Holt had her in a more controlled environment, and you saw how she responded, the petulance that you dare asking me. We've been to the border, but you haven't been to the border. I've been to Europe. This is the cockiness, the stupidity mixed in with it.
I can get it for you here.
Yeah, I wonder how long they worked up that answer. Did she just think about that, saying, I haven't been to Europe? No, I think they war gamed that. They said, yeah, that'll knock Lester Holt back if he says anything to you about not going to the border.
Now, let me just quickly put a button.
Okay.
Do you have any plans to visit the border?
I'm here in Guatemala today. At some point, we are going to the border. We've been to the border. So this whole thing about the border, we've been to the border. We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. And I don't understand the point that you're making. I'm not discounting the importance of the border.
Well, I mentioned it because I know Republicans have certainly come at you on this, but Democratic Congressman Cuellar has a border district, has said to you and the president, come. You need to see this.
Listen, I care about what's happening at the border. I'm in Guatemala because my focus is dealing with the root causes of migration. There may be some who think that that is not important, but it is my firm belief that if we care about what's happening at the border, we better care about the root causes and address them. And so
Amazing. Blame other people because you won't go to the border. You dopes, I'm here addressing the root causes.
I've been to Cabo. Does that make me
You watch Narcos.
Right.
That's it.
I mean, that's the most absurd thing
He's
I've
not
ever
going
heard.
to the
This
border.
guy's
He's
a
been to the
dummy,
border.
moron. I've been down to the border. Big deal.
That's right, buddy. You were never at the border. You were in Cabo with Kamala Harris. Oh, the big guy, Dan, does it. It always amazes me. 14 minutes savaging me with no savagery. You talk about losing your fastball. It wasn't even 80 miles an hour.
It would be great to have a wall, to have electronic surveillance, to have
All
our
the
ports.
experts say, Howard, once you build the wall, you still have to have all of this
Another rocket
scrutiny.
scientist.
You have to have
Of course.
cameras. You have to have
Border Patrol.
surveillance. You have to have Border Patrol. You still haven't done anything about the ports.
Yeah. I mean, that's all. I'm just basing my opinion on what I read. Excuse me.
And who are we trying to keep out with the wall?
Giordano. Well, actually, I shouldn't speak. This guy actually goes out during his radio show and patrols the border during his commercial breaks.
Which is true. You did do that at one point.
True. I mean, we're at 24th and Market now. It's become a little bit harder, but I would do that if it were out there in front of me.
But you broadcasted from the border, have you not?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. We
Patrolling
went,
the border during your breaks, yeah.
We had a giant screen. We didn't have social media as much, and Dan, looking over, I went into Juarez. I interviewed the mayor of Juarez in a room where they had sandbags and kids' school desks. He goes, for the blast, blast.
I think you might be more qualified than Kamala Harris on border issues.
Yeah, I could see her going into Juarez. And I asked the guy, why are those 3 Jeeps with machine guns mounted on it? Why don't they spread out a little bit? And he goes to me, safety. And I'm thinking, oh, man. I call Roe. This may be the last call. I'm headed into Juarez. Dan, the guy that was there,
Giordano.
that was in charge of the
Dummy
trip,
Giordano.
it wasn't Greg, it wasn't anybody else. He wouldn't go in with me.
Really?
He said, nope, that's up to you if you want to go into Juarez. And when we walked out, the guy said, I'm giving you my top men. And these guys, usually in population there, they're not my height. Both of them were taller than me, and they were holding Uzis, and we only had to walk a half a block to get onto the thing that takes you out of the country.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That sounds...
Yeah, I wasn't scared when I was in his office, but when I went out of that office, I'm thinking, well, it look bad if I start running to the other side. What'll happen? All right, let me.
When he has to go to...
Yeah, let me squeeze a caller in here. Craig in Huntington Valley, waiting on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Craig. Good afternoon.
Hey, Dom. Greetings.
Greeting, Craig.
Just wanted to weigh in on the question of the day.
Yes.
I think one of the greatest storytellers of our time, Garrison Keillor and Prairie Home Companion, telling stories of Lake Wobegon, where all the women are strong, the men are good-looking, and all the children are above average.
Now, the thing is, that is quintessential Midwest. I always thought the guy was kind of fraudulent. You didn't.
Oh, I enjoyed his shows, his faux commercials. I thought it was a great show.
Well,
I did.
that
And by
is-
the way,
yeah, he captured the prairie,
in South
no doubt.
Central,
Yeah.
In South Central Pennsylvania, it's Ewins, not y'all.
Oh, that's right, the Pittsburgh thing,
Ewins.
right? Ewins.
Yeah.
Have you ever said y'all in your life?
Yes, I do. I lived in Oklahoma for a while, though, but I'm from
okay.
Philly. But, I do say it.
All right, thank you. Dan is a hipster. He's saying y'all all around this building. Hey, y'all.
I text y'all sometimes.
Oh, God. I wonder if, does Mark Levin say y'all,
No.
do you think?
No.
No?
No. Is Mark Levin here?
He might be here. Is Mark here? Mark?
You know what? No, I don't say y'all. I say you.
Thank you, Mark. All right, 855-839-1210. My sheet is yellow today, Dan. Man, we were out of paper that bad. They're yellow.
It's like
I can't do the show.
You
It's
got
all
construction
yellow.
paper, Dom. You want some?
Yeah, construction paper. Who did this?
Looks like it's written
So
down
who
in
do we
colored
have
pencil.
at 12:30?
We got the former gubernatorial candidate, Murphy, coming on. Yeah.
Yes, who ran against the Great Walls.
Yes.
What
And
can he tell us? He's the one who put together the montage of the 104 COVID restrictions this guy put in. All right, you're going to hear a guy who actually ran against this guy,
Mike
Walls. Mike Murphy. He's next here on Talk Radio 1210.
Getting weary, unable to run.
For eligible individuals, 18 and older only. Results vary. See website for details and important safety information.
How are your hearing aids sounding now?
A little tinny.
Okay, 2 seconds.
With Jabra Enhanced Selects Premium Package,
Better hearing doesn't happen in a doctor's office. It happens at home, all done remotely from initial testing to adjustments.
How are they sounding now?
Fantastic. So much better.
You get the same advanced hearing aid technology and professional support you expect from a clinic at a fraction of the cost. And if you have any issues, we'll make adjustments 7 days a week, no charge.
Oh, you people are wonderful.
Our premium package includes hearing aids, 3 years of follow-up care, plus a 3-year warranty with loss and damage coverage, and a 100-day money-back guarantee.
I hear better than I ever thought possible.
Save $300 on Enhanced Select 500 hearing aids automatically at checkout. Just go to JabraEnhance.com/try. That's JABRA Enhance.com/try. JabraEnhance.com/try.
When you need to know, depend on KYW News Radio 103.9 FM.
The Kamala Waltz campaign blitz starts today visiting battleground states. A Pakistani man has been charged for a plot to carry out political assassinations on U.S. soil. Dozens of calls for help and several evacuations overnight in Edgewater Park, New Jersey, following major flooding in the area.
Get the latest anytime on KYW News Radio. Now on Crystal Clear 103.9 FM.
You've never needed us more.
Am I going to be okay? It's the most important question you should ask yourself when approaching retirement. A financial advisor will probably answer that question by looking at just one thing: how much you've saved. At Spectrum Wealth Partners, we believe that's only half the story. The stock market will continue to go up and down, but at Spectrum Wealth, we can help you build guaranteed lifetime income that's not affected by any of it. Let's sit down together and help you answer the question, am I going to be okay? Call 856-322-8686 or online at spectrumwp.com. And tune into the Retirement Spectrum with Alan Cohen Saturdays at 3 here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Advisory services offered through Concurrent Investment Advisors, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Concurrent Investment Advisors, LLC, and Spectrum Wealth Partners are not affiliated companies.
Don't miss Borgata's $1.5 million Summer Showdown. Now through August 31st, 1,500 winners will earn a share of $1.5 million. Plus, 2 lucky players will win a 2024 Ford Bronco or Jeep Rubicon. Earn entries for drawings held every Saturday, including 2 grand prize drawings on July 27th and August 31st. The $1.5 million Summer Showdown, only at Borgata Hotel, Casino, and Spa. Must be 21 or older. Players must be present to win. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
For a complete list of Talk Radio 1210 WPHT's contest rules, go to 1210WPHT.com/rules.
Weather sponsored by Budget Blinds.
The forecast remains unsettled as we head through the rest of the work week. We'll see clouds around today with a few showers possible. It'll be cooler with a high 78. The chance for showers continues tonight with a low 68. And for Thursday, partly to mostly cloudy with some showers with a high near 80.
Summer's a great time to brighten up the window treatments in your home. Budget Blinds is your one-stop shop for blinds, shades, shutters, custom drapery, and motorization. Visit budgetblinds.com for a free in-home consultation and the only no-questions-asked warranty in the business. Budgetblinds.com.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, broadcasting from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
His lights went out of sight. Came the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
All right, welcome in, everyone. The Dom Giordano Show. We got a great guest, but in a moment, I'll give you more details on the name dropping of the boss last night by Walls.
Oh, come on.
And wait until you hear the phony. This is we might do all-time phonies tomorrow. We may have done it before, but Dan, this is a Beto O'Rourke, or as Alan West calls him, Robert O'Rourke, Phil Murphy, Shapiro, and Walls.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my God. It's around Rushmore of phoniness.
Right?
Yeah.
Where are they going to all gather them?
They saw the boss together. MetLife Stadium. I've got full details coming up. All right, Dan's trying to laugh rather than start
worst
screaming.
Group to go with the contra with?
Sorry. Can you imagine? Yes.
Oh, gosh. And it's like 4 hours with these guys, too.
We might ask worst person to go to a Bruce Springsteen concert with. Dan would be the winner. All right, Mike Murphy, former gubernatorial candidate in Minnesota, he's seen up close running against the great Walls, waltzing to socialism. Let's go to Mike Murphy on Talk Radio 1210. Mike, welcome to Philadelphia. Thank you for joining us today.
Hi, Philadelphia.
How you doing, Dom?
Well, very well, Mike. I mean, you know, we saw you yesterday when all this started to break around walls, and we started to think, you know, got to be tough running against a guy out there in a hunting hat telling you that socialism is just being neighborly. Tell me what you learned by running against this guy.
Well, you know, I also wear a hunting hat too, but the difference between me and Tim Walz is I'm not a grade A narcissist like he is. And, you know, I ran for the Republican endorsement. Ultimately, you know, I don't know if you have the info, but I wasn't on the ballot in November against him. Scott Jensen was, but I helped Scott Jensen on his campaign quite a bit. And, of course, all of us worked together to beat Walz. And Walz only showed up for one debate, which was at our Farm Fest. He never did any of the TV debates. So our Republican gubernatorial candidate was just debating himself against the media. So that just goes to show you the kind of character Tim Walz has when he can't even stand up to his Republican opponent on live television. And he took the Joe Biden approach and hid in his basement the entire election in 2022.
And
you know,
Mike, Steve Kornacki last night, who is the pollster guy on MSNBC, showed that election poll and showed that this guy didn't do well in rural Minnesota. His strength was where you would expect it with a Marxist in more of the bigger cities in that area. How did he get this reputation then as Mr. Rural?
Well, he's from Nebraska, so he moved up to Minnesota and claimed that, you know, I'm the son of a farmer, and he ran in rural Minnesota in our CD1, where Congressman Brad Finstead is now sitting before Tim Walz ran for governor. So he gave this perception, this persona that he's just a regular old Joe, a Midwestern guy, that, you know, he's just like everybody else. And it's not, it's farthest from the truth. The guy's a communist. I mean, for the love of God, he had his honeymoon in China, and he owned a business and ran a business in China. And he sat on Nancy Pelosi's delegation and envoy to the People's Republic of China when he served in Congress. I mean, he's the furthest thing from being a typical Midwestern resident, to be honest with you guys.
Now, I don't know if it was you, Mike, that we got this from. Dan, was it the COVID montage? Yeah, thank you, Mike, for putting that together, because we had Governor Wolf, and Governor Wolf is a petty little tyrant too, Wolfman Hack, during COVID. Mm-hmm. This guy, though, is a more aggressive Wolf. 104 executive orders by this guy around COVID.
Yeah, I mean, he shut down our bars and our restaurants, let the big box stores stay open. He let his friends that own businesses keep their places open. He bought a so-called real estate investment, which he called the morgue, for our COVID deaths for $7 million, and then turned around and sold it at a loss. He squandered $500 million worth of COVID funding in fraud. So this guy oversaw $500 million worth of COVID fraud in the state of Minnesota, knowing that it went on, gave that money away to the Somalis that live in the state, who turned around and then donated back to the Democrats' campaigns here in the state of Minnesota as well. He killed an $18 billion surplus in our government last year with woke legislation, like the tampons in the boys' bathrooms at the schools and all these other government programs. It's just, this guy is a grade A communist, folks. And like I said in the beginning of our conversation, he's a narcissist. He can talk fast, he can think on his feet, and he will do everything he can to trick the American voter to thinking that he's farthest from being a communist.
At least socialist, Mike. Now, you have more experience, you know, and winning in Minnesota strikes me that I did Minnesota radio, and at least there's the pretense of nice, but this guy doesn't seem to be that nice.
He's not. He's not nice at all. You know, I don't want to cuss, but he's an a-hole. I really wanted to say the whole word there, but he really is. I mean, go find me another governor in this country that has prosecuted 2 police officers for doing their job, for the love of God. I mean, that just goes to show you the type of person he is. Not on top of that, he had more deaths in nursing homes during COVID than the state of New York did. I mean, he was literally putting sick people into nursing homes with individuals that weren't sick. I mean, this is the type of person that he is. His wife did an interview, if you guys haven't seen this one yet, where she said she liked to have the windows open at the governor's mansion to smell the burning of the city that was on fire because of the riot.
Yeah, here it is,
I would
Mike.
say those first days, when there were riots, I could smell the burning tires. And that was a very real thing. And I kept the windows open for as long as I could because I felt like that was such a touchstone of what was happening.
So the mayor of Minneapolis is a liberal guy, maybe a progressive, and even he knew you had to get the National Guard, and yet this guy was reluctant to do it, thought these riots were a long time coming, justified, argued about paperwork, apparently, with the guy about getting the National Guard out there. Mike, is there any truth to what I've seen several people report, that the daughter got the information about where the troops would be deployed and then put it online so that looters and others would know where to avoid the National Guard?
That is 100% true. There are screenshots of her Twitter feed saying, hey, the police, the National Guard are going to be here at this time. And of course, once she got exposed, she closed her Twitter account down at the time. But yes, that is true. She did. She had firsthand knowledge from her father and threw it out to the rioters in Antifa publicly about what to do. And on top of that, the media, especially CNN now, I saw it yesterday, are trying to play, cover for Walz and calling, President Trump a liar that Trump, didn't order in the National Guard. Basically, President Trump gave Walz an ultimatum and said, hey, you either call the Guard in or I'm taking this thing over. And, Walz ultimately called the Guard in. And that was after our Senate Majority Leader, which was Republican at the time in the state of Minnesota, had to call the White House and beg them to call Tim Walz to send in the National Guard.
Mike, here's a little bit of reporting on that online stuff and telling us where the National Guard is.
The mayor called the governor to request National Guard help, and Minneapolis's police chief followed with a specific request for 600 guardsmen. Tuesday, Walz did not dispute those things happened, but he said city officials misunderstood what the Guard could do.
But I don't think the mayor knew what he was asking for. He wanted the National Guard, and what does that mean? I think to the mayor, yes, I think it's a perception. I'm certainly not questioning that. I think the mayor said, I request the National Guard. Whew, I'm out. This is great. We're going to have massively trained troops. No, you're going to have 19-year-olds who are cooks.
I also have the mayor himself.
Yeah, here's the mayor on that.
Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry has consistently said what he told us on June 2nd.
I will speak the truth. And the truth is that on Wednesday, around 6 p.m., I called the governor and asked for the National Guard.
Text messages and emails from the mayor's office for Wednesday, May 27th back that up.
Yeah, it's a pretty obvious thing. Mike, do you have any sense then, we're trying to parse this out of how this guy has risen to this level. My theory is they're buying into the myth that he's going to reach rural voters, which there's no evidence of by polling or anything else, other than he puts on a hunter's hat, he likes cabins, he may or may not ice fish. I don't think that's going to fly here in Pennsylvania.
I agree. And I think ultimately at the end of the day, Kamala wanted your governor. She wanted Shapiro, but the reason why she didn't pick him is because he's Jewish. And we all know that because it doesn't fit and sit well with her base that, supports Palestine and, and everything that's going on with Israel and Palestine right now in Gaza. And I think that's the reality. That's why that event was held in Pennsylvania yesterday, because I think ultimately it was going to be Shapiro. But at the end of the day, Tim Walz is a fraud and a phony, and I think people are going to be able to see through that. And through 2021 and 2022, the Republicans here in Minnesota, we worked our butts off to let the world know who Tim Walz really is, and it fell on deaf ears. He got a pass from the Minnesota media and the national media with the way he handled things here in this state, and I'm just happy now, fast forward to today, that the people are starting to know who the real Tim Walz is.
Well, we appreciate it. We appreciate you doing that, Mike. So we'll call upon you frequently as this develops. Thank you. Thanks for taking the time today.
Yeah, feel free. You guys take care.
Thank you, Mike Murphy. By the way, Jim suggested, Dan, will Kamala go on the Stern show? Now, you could say people in the past would go, oh, my God, that's the last show. Stern will rip you apart. He doesn't care about anything. Let's get that out there, Dan. And that might tweak him and his producers again. I think this is one of the safest shows she could go on.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt.
Because this guy has lost his mind. You know, that's why he went after me. My theories were he wants to be taken seriously. Look at the interview he did with Hillary Clinton. When you were there, what would he have done with Hillary Clinton? I mean, if he had gotten an interview.
Yeah, well, it's a good question. I mean, I was there right as he was turning into this, PC person that he's become. We heard how it's gone. You know, I think it's going to be incredibly friendly if she were to go on there. It's probably a smart move for her campaign, to be honest.
Did COVID do it to him?
No.
No, we're starting anyhow.
I mean, if you really want to go into behind baseball, it's behind the scenes decisions, a book that he really got into about how to change, you know, the way he does things behind the scenes. America's Got Talent. He wanted to become a relatable individual and not become the shock jock.
Okay.
He wanted to be remembered with a legacy of a greatest interviewer rather than the greatest shock jock of all time. It's completely changed his personality.
I think to be taken seriously, too.
Yes.
And some of it is Trump derangement thinking, I can be better than that guy. That guy's president? You got to be kidding me.
Weirdly, I think he wants to be remembered rather than with the likes of a Don Imus than with a Larry King.
Well put. All right, Howard, call us anytime. 855.
I'm into Cabo.
Hey,
I'm
on the air right now. I'm on the air right now.
You're
you
working
big
today.
dummy.
It's a Wednesday. What the heck's up with that?
Because I only work on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesdays, and I'm off on Thursday. And we are going to have Kamala Harris on. Kamala, let me ask you something. Let me think of something I can ask you right now because Gary, get in here, you idiot.
You know, J.D. Vance might be the better guest for the Howard Stern show.
Oh, God.
J.D., can I ask you a question right now?
No, don't do it, please.
Fake news of this whole cow thing.
But you see, you know, when you mentioned me, Don Imus, you know, the problem is, Howard, he's just dreadful.
Thank you, Imus. 855-839-1210. Something Midwest. That is the side question. And why does Dan hate walls? It involves Springsteen. Might be tomorrow's side question, too, when I give you the details on that from last night. Hey, I've told you for years about my friend, dentist and board-certified prosthodontist, Dr. Robert Bentz, and the Bentz Dental Group. Dr. Bentz is known for just cutting-edge dentistry, the technology, his staff, the smallest things. They are going to have that and be ahead of the curve, his own skill, and the fact that they help people overcome fear and anxiety. State-of-the-art facility makes dentistry as easy as can be. My recent experience, a great example, permanent tooth put in. You know how it is, bite, 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 chomp, back and forth. Did we get it right? Chomp, chomp, chomp. No. Put it in. Get out of here. See you later, Dom. Go talk. The first time. All you have to do is tap into this world-class dentistry. The Bentz Dental Group. Find them at bentzdentalgroup.com, BENTZ, or call them now for that appointment today, 610-272-6949. Visit bentzdentalgroup.com. Tell them Dom sent you, 610-272-6949.
Talk Radio 1210's Huge Politics and Pints with Donald Trump Jr. is moving to Thursday, September 12th. Join Dom Giordano as he talks to Donald Trump Jr. about all things Trump. Just 2 days after the planned presidential debate. The new date, Thursday, September 12th at Scottish Rite Auditorium in Collingswood. Your tickets include a copy of Letters to Trump by former President Trump. A cash bar will be available. Get your tickets now at 1210WPHT.com. That's 1210WPHT.com.
Julia owed the IRS thousands.
I was paralyzed with fear.
Then
I heard a commercial for Optima Tax Relief.
Optima Tax Relief is the leading tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and experts in the Fresh Start Initiative.
Optima Tax Relief settled my IRS tax bill.
Call Optima now for a free consultation.
It was amazing.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Don't miss the Education Show with Dom Giordano every Sunday morning at 5:30. Find out how you can help your child or grandchild succeed. Sponsored by New Hope Academy.
Lose 20 to 40 plus pounds guaranteed with NJ Diet. NJ Diet uses DNA and blood work to help you lose weight and keep it off. Tune into their radio show Sundays at 2 or visit njdiet.com.
Pastor Brad Lacey here, First Baptist Church, Conshohocken. Join us Saturdays for the great message and be blessed. 5 a.m. right here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
We have a man who's a warrior, a great military person. Dave McCormick is a seventh-generation Pennsylvanian who grew up in Bloomsburg, went to West Point, and earned a Bronze Star for his service in the First Gulf War. Dave went on to an outstanding career in business, and now he's fighting for the people of this Commonwealth, and he loves this Commonwealth.
Conservative Dave McCormick.
We need new leadership. We need a new president in the White House that's going to get our country back on track. We need a new majority in the Senate that's going to be able to take our country in the right direction.
Dave will vote to secure your borders, stand up to China, unleash incredible amounts of Pennsylvania energy, and he wants to stop Bidenflation. David McCormick, you have my total support and my total endorsement, and you got to win. Dave McCormick.
I'm Dave McCormick, and I approve this message.
Paid for by friends of Dave McCormick. www.davemccormickpa.com.
What if I told you your home movies are already past their prime? It's true. The magnetic tape used in VHS and camcorder tapes only lasts between 10 to 20 years, which means your baby's first steps, weddings, and family vacations are fading away as we speak. Digitizing your old media with Legacy Box stops this fading process in its tracks. And by preserving your recordings, they're safe forever. Legacy Box is simply the best way to preserve your past, which is why they've been trusted by over 1 million families. Your memories are meant to be shared, not chewed up by the VCR or worn away with time. For a limited time, you can convert your tapes to digital for just $9 a tape. There's never been a better time to convert your entire collection. That includes film reels and photos too. Visit legacybox.com/value to get our $9 sale. That's legacybox.com/value to unlock our $9 offer. legacybox.com/value.
Free speech lives here with Rich Zioli weekday afternoons 3 till 7 on Odyssey's #1 talk station, 1210 WPHT.
All right, Dom Giordano show. So the Inquirer's got a big expo. They love Walls last night at the Liacouras Center, dropping the name of the boss, Dan, and saying he attended a concert there. And it's true. We have the pictures with Phil Murphy, Shapiro, Beto O'Rourke, and Walls. Every one of them in their costume. Phil Murphy looks like he has a full head of hair in this, too. So I don't know if that was photoshopped
Sounds like a
or
terrible
something.
time, man.
Notice, and not that it matters, though, do you notice anything in the picture with Josh Shapiro?
No.
The four of them?
No.
Well, take a look at the size.
Yeah?
Look at Beto O'Rourke and Murphy next to Shapiro.
Hold on, I'm pulling it up real quick.
Yeah, you'll see what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's quite a disparity there. So what do you think of Walls now? Do you you were calm about him. Now you have to be seething, right? He's apparently committed. He actually, every time he's in Minnesota, they declare Bruce Springsteen Day again.
I feel like Bruce Springsteen has become the face, the guy for if you want to portray yourself as a fake blue-collar guy, that's the guy you say you listen to.
Exactly. They glom onto it, and it is fake. I couldn't agree with you more. Now, they better never declare...
It's like virtue signaling through music.
They better never declare June 22nd Bruce Springsteen Day in Jersey.
Yeah.
That might be a problem. It conflicts with Dom Giordano Day.
They do have Bruce Springsteen Day, Minnesota?
Oh, they did. Walls is the one that declared it.
Oh.
Yep.
Why?
So who's the phoniest out of that? It's Beto O'Rourke, all-time phoniest.
Yeah.
Even in the middle of that clack. That's taking Phil Murphy into account, too.
So Beto's tall?
Yeah, I think he's about 6'2", 6'3".
And Murphy's tall.
Pretty tall, yeah. I think he's over 6 feet.
I didn't realize Walls was that small or short.
Relatively. And then Shapiro looks like some guy they squeezed in there. I'd say he's about 5'11", 5'10 and a half, something like that. Maybe.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't see it on here.
Let's let me squeeze Joe of Exton in. Joe on Talk Radio 1210. All right, Joe, what do you have today as far as something Midwest?
Yes, hello, Dom.
Hi, Joe.
Good afternoon. The national monument known as Mount Rushmore is located in South Dakota.
Yeah, I think that's Midwest, Dan.
That's a good answer.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you very much. Joe Biden will be on that someday, as we know.
Yeah.
According to Nancy Pelosi.
Mm-hmm.
All right, coming up, Linda Kearns, our Secretary of Defense. Now we know that psychiatric hospitals are apparently encouraging people to vote. To whom might they be voting for? Is that legal? Are they ballot harvesting? They're right here in Pennsylvania and around the country. You have someone committed because they're schizophrenic. Should doctors be involved in getting that person to vote at that point in time? Think about it. You're mandatorily put in there. That's what we're up against. That's where we're going. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210. Linda next on Talk Radio 1210. Let's talk batteries plus bulbs. Two big stores, Mount Laurel and Northfield. My friend Roy, for years we've told you about the great work they do. They fix things. They get them fixed. Could be something sentimental. It could be your phone. It could be you're in business. You want an energy audit. This is the place to go. But they need people right now. They're looking for help because they're doing great and they have more customers. If you're a handy do-it-yourselfer, that would be ideal. It's great, low pressure, part-time or full-time job. Customer service is key. If you're willing to do what it takes to help, you need to talk to Roy. Be part of the team. As I said, they power it, they light it, and they fix it all the time. Give them a call at 856-638-0778. Roy is a tremendous guy to work with and for. 856-638-0778. Now remember, two big stores, batteries plus bulbs in Mount Laurel and Northfield on Tilton Road. Whatever the problem is, be it sentimental value, business, personal, phone, 856-638-0778.
Retired Minister Sam Lepore believes you practice what you preach. Phil Cannella and Joanne Small practice what they preach. They too are protected by the exclusive crash-proof retirement system.
You know, if you're talking about something in your life that you want to share with somebody else, if you're not doing it yourself, then you're a fake. And Phil is not a fake. He's crash-proofed. I mean, he invests in his own crash-proof retirement system. And I said, you know, that gives you joy. And you can see it in his face. Crash-proof retirement has really helped me to have joy. I'm so excited about it that I cannot stop telling people about it. I was looking at the market and seeing 500 points drop. I mean, that's crash. I'm really lucky to be crash-proof.
Schedule an appointment or register for our next event at the William Penn Inn on Tuesday, September 17th. 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
Hey, it's Rich Zioli. We all love summer, right? But the beach isn't just for summer. In fact, the beach, and in particular the Cape May beach, is just beautiful in the fall. If you haven't been to Cape May in the fall, you're missing out, and you should book your stay at the Grand Hotel of Cape May for a September to remember. The Grand offers special midweek packages so you can enjoy the beach without breaking the bank. Stay 2 nights and save 10%. Stay 3 nights, get 10% off and $55 a night in resort credits. Stay 5 nights, you're going to get 10% off and $65 a night in resort credits, and they can be used at Hemingway's for food and drink, the gift shop, and so much more. The Grand offers guest rooms, suites, and townhomes equipped with a kitchenette, and they have 2 huge heated pools, 1 outdoor and 1 indoor. I'm telling you, the Grand is my happy place, and you will not be disappointed. Book directly with them for the best rates. Book your stay today at 800-257-8550 or visit them online at grandhotelcapemay.com. And our next live show is Friday, September 6th. So book your stay today, grandhotelcapemay.com.
Offer not valid in all states or prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Honey, the credit card bill came, and we're maxed out.
Great. Maxed out cards, rent is due, bills are piling up. We just need some extra cash to help us get by.
We should do what my brother did. He went to GetCash.com and got $3,000.
With our bad credit?
GetCash.com is different. They're one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000.
I'm sure there's a lot of paperwork.
Nope. My brother said it was fast and easy. He did it right from his phone.
If you have a regular source of income, you can be approved for a loan of up to $5,000 in minutes, and your cash can hit your bank account as soon as the next day. Our lenders have millions of dollars to lend regardless of your credit history.
Great news! I went to GetCash.com and we'll have our money as soon as tomorrow.
Wow, that is fast.
If you need extra cash, go to GetCash.com. That's GetCash.com. GetCash.com.
On Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
All right, welcome in, everyone. Our go-to, Linda Kearns. Her official title on the Dom Giordano Show is Pennsylvania Election Integrity Coordinator, or Counsel. For the Republican Party. She's really Dick Fangio. She's really the defensive coordinator here. So I just threw her something this morning about this Pennsylvania psychiatric hospital. There's more of them. Imagine many patients, the Pennsylvania Psychiatric Institute, 89-bed facility affiliated with Penn State University, suffer from schizophrenia, substance abuse, depression, bipolar disorder. They cannot complete the activities of daily living. Some are suicidal, aggressive, or dangerous to themselves or others. And what do these physician groups, which is apparently a national group involved in this, they're registering them to vote. Now, think of someone in the throes of schizophrenia voting. And who are the people behind this effort? Well, the usual progressive groups. So you can take one of two courses here. You can say, Dom, can't win, can't beat them, they'll do anything. Or you can say, I don't care what the hell you're going to do. You're not going to beat us here in Pennsylvania. That's where Linda Kearns comes in. And Linda joins us here on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Linda, welcome in.
Tom, thank you so much for having me on, because every time I'm on your show and I talk about protectthevote.com, where volunteers can sign up, we get just a bunch of signups. So that just shows you how much your reach is in the Pennsylvania area.
Well, thank you, Linda. And they know you, too. As I said, Presler is more the secretary of offense. He's running motion plays. You're there trying to stop them from getting into the end zone by hook or by crook. So this is a nationwide the Washington Free Beacon writing about it, though. I think they centered in one that's particularly egregious. Are there any limitations when you have someone, I guess by court order, that has to be incarcerated in this manner? Are they eligible to vote?
So in Pennsylvania, to be eligible to vote, you have to be 18 years old, a resident of the state for 30 days, and a citizen for 30 days. So that's pretty much the requirements in Pennsylvania. But what I say to that is I think that the left knows that they have a ticket that can't win. They have the most leftist lunatic ticket, I think, in the history of the United States. So they need to pull out all of the tricks because they cannot win on policy, and that's why they're trying all this. And to use your football analogy, you know, we don't give the Cowboys a 2-touchdown lead. So in this election, we can't give the Democrats any leads, which means that we have to vote by mail if we don't think that we can get there by Election Day. And I don't want to hear voters who say, well, I'm not sure if I should vote by mail or it's not safe. If you don't think you can get there on Election Day, let's get your vote in prior to Election Day so that it's all signed, sealed, and delivered, and then we don't have to worry about it. That's how we get what we call the low propensity voters.
Right.
Dom, you and I, we're gonna vote. We know that. I mean, we never miss an election, but there are people who do. So that's we have to play the game that we're in, and that's the game that we're in. So that's what I say about mail-in voting.
To that point, you're probably, what you said about this ticket, in the camp that says, Linda, I can't stand these people that say the VP never matters. Josh Shapiro would have mattered here in Pennsylvania. I don't like him ideologically. I don't like some of the tactics, but I recognize talent on their side. He's all world when it comes to just leave no bridge unburned here. He would have made a difference in Pennsylvania, which is going to be really tight.
Pennsylvania will absolutely be tight. And to me, I've never taken my foot off the gas since I've started this process at the beginning of 2024. So all this is interesting to me as an American, but to me, my role, my job has not changed. And that is to make sure that we are making sure that all of the laws are getting followed, which is why I'm recruiting people for protectthevote.com. And when Biden was out and Harris was in and people were kind of celebrating, none of that should matter. Remember, the Eagles won the Super Bowl with a backup quarterback. So just because the Democrats put a backup team in, that doesn't mean that they're necessarily at a disadvantage. We cannot stop until Election Day, and we have to make sure that we get every vote out there. And I have some good news in that respect. In 2016, if you remember, the dynamic duo of Linda Kearns and Joe DeFelice, we ran the Philadelphia operation. And Joe is back in the game. He's working with me now to recruit poll watchers and poll workers and get a team in place. So I hope voters understand that Joe DeFelice, former chair of the Republican Party, is back in the game, and we are working day and night to make sure this election is secure.
That's the A-team. You know, my connection with him, too. That is the A-team. You, him, and Presler on the hinterlands of Pennsylvania. Absolutely. So, Linda, with these outfits, what they're doing, I guess you're taking a look to see if they're ballot harvesting that's going on here, because apparently this is significant across the country, what they're engaged in.
Right. Ballot harvesting is illegal in Pennsylvania, so they cannot ballot harvest. And that absolutely is an issue that we are working on. But my response to a lot of this is we can't change these laws unless we win elections.
Yes.
And we win elections by getting every vote out there. And, what Joe DeFelice and I did in 2016. We had poll watchers or coverage in every polling place in Philadelphia. And now, Dom, I think I'm the brains and the beauty of this whole organization. I'm not quite sure what Joe does, but he was on the team on 2016, so I brought him back in. So.
Well, and again, in places like Philadelphia, it's about making sure there are no shenanigans and getting out every vote. There are pockets in Northeast and South Philly where Trump can ring up a lot of votes.
And I know I joke about Joe, but that's Joe's strength. He knows every neighborhood, every corner, every street. He knows everybody. So he's been invaluable in getting us people in all those places, because what I say is the people who are running our elections, whether it's the Democrats who run the polling places, whether it's the Philadelphia Commissioner's Office, whether it's the Secretary of State, they don't want Trump to win. So that's why we need our guys to watch those guys. Absolutely. And I'm certainly glad that Shapiro is not the nominee or the vice president candidate, because he definitely would have been a distraction. And this guy that they picked, he just is so left. I want to have confidence in my fellow Pennsylvanians that we don't want someone that is that leftist with those types of policies in the Oval Office. So I'm going to hope that Pennsylvania voters realize what that ticket is.
Absolutely. So, Linda, if people want to volunteer, and again, they want to feel energized by this and feel that they're doing all that they can, and when it's all over, they're going to feel good about it, what do they do?
Go to protectthevote.com. We have staffers that will contact you, and we'll set you up with a training. And the training is great. It's incredibly informative. You watch it by Zoom, so you do it from the comfort of your own home. And then we'll have you in a polling place in your county. So I'm not just looking for Philadelphians. I'm also looking for people in all the counties in Pennsylvania. So we can use you no matter where you live.
You said something really important, too. You can do this by Zoom from your home, be trained up, and then on Election Day, be our eyes and ears out there helping you with this.
Absolutely. Dom, it is so important. Our election code is designed to have bipartisan coverage in these polling places, but we have to have the people to put in the polling places. And that's why I am spending so much time trying to find the people. And like I said, I don't want to reveal our exact numbers, but we are gaining every week with volunteers. So I am really, really confident. And another thing I want voters to understand is, and Dom, you know how long I've been doing this, but this RNC with Chairman Watley and Laura Trump, this is a different organization than I've ever been involved with. We're energized. I have the resources and the support that I need, and I can really do my best because I have this RNC behind me. And I want voters to realize that, because this morning I was talking to a voter who said, I don't know if they're going to cheat. Does my vote count? And I hate to hear that. I just hate to hear that. We need every single person out to vote. You need to talk to the kids who are going away to college and make sure they request their absentee ballot. You need to talk to friends and neighbors and family members. Everyone has to get out to vote.
Absolutely. Linda, thank you as always. To be continued anytime. Jump on board.
Oh, Dom, thank you so much. And thank you to Dan for booking me. You know, he's the best.
Well, that was a regrettable comment. You destroyed your credibility there at the end, but okay, we'll leave that in. Okay. Thank you, Linda. Thank you very much. Strike that from the record, sir.
Nope, I'm going to capture that and play it back nonstop.
A couple of things. Today, I've been waiting for this, is the anniversary, Dan. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but today, 50 weeks ago, hard to believe, it's 50 weeks ago this week. Well, today, Wednesday, that Philippe Petit defied gravity and the police by walking a high wire between the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center, braving the winds some 1,350 feet above the streets of Manhattan. Apparently, 100,000 people gathered in the streets below. I don't know if they were screaming from the fall or not. But
yeah, well, that's the point of gathering, is it not?
Yes,
yeah.
They were probably doing that. And he now is 75. He's doing special performances in New York. He's inside a church.
Wait, he's still doing stuff?
Yeah. There's a wire stretched out before him. I'm not sure if he's 100 feet in the air or something like that. And he's still able to walk that wire, but I don't think he's going to want to
set up in like cafeterias and going across the scaffolding?
Yeah. Doing it at that height between the Twin Towers. Now, I went to the... was it the Empire State Building or Twin Tower? Maybe both, but I remember Empire State Building. I took a quick look. I couldn't look anymore out there over the... I couldn't do it.
Yeah, no, it's tough.
Yeah. Imagine, just thinking about it now, I don't want to think about it. And there's a documentary, I think it's Man on a Wire, about it. 50 years ago today, he was arrested.
You ever go to Four Seasons Sky High? That thing creeps me out.
Yeah.
Over at the Four Seasons, at top of the bar, yeah. So he's actually going to be doing an event at the Cathedral of St. John of the Divine.
That's what it is, yeah.
Yeah.
How is that possible?
With Sting singing below him.
It is the most, Sting's a friend, apparently.
Yeah.
It's the most remarkable thing. How could anyone do that? I think he did it for a half hour or so, too. That's crazy.
That's nuts.
Just the wind. Not even a false step, just the wind. How do you stay up there? How is that physically possible?
Yeah, I got a writing of it here. It says, on August 7th, 1974, Petit carried out his unthinkable exploit after months of clandestine planning. He and 7 accomplices figured out how to bypass security at the World Trade Center, often in disguise, lug up hundreds of pounds of material, and shoot a 131-foot-long steel cable across the chasm between the towers with a bow and arrow. Onlookers were astonished to see a tiny figure a quarter-mile above, walking, dancing, even kneeling and saluting them for 45 minutes. Afterwards, he was arrested but soon released and ended up receiving a lifetime pass to the World Trade Center observation deck.
That is, just setting it up gives you chills.
So I thought this was like something they set up like on a public,
no.
Wow, like he snuck up there and...
Yeah, and imagine having the faith that you're shooting a bow and arrow across there. This is going to hold up.
Thank you, man.
I don't know how it's possible.
Petrified eyes.
Yeah, it is amazing.
Like even looking down here, we're 4 floors up. And,
yeah. Well, I know you talked about
the crane guys
with Stern in the crane guy.
Oh, the crane guys too. Yeah. Like you look out there, they're doing some construction. They're high up there with hardly any protection. That's rough. But yeah, Stern was 48 floors up, I think, in New York, over Times Square.
Imagine
46th
CERN,
floor,
yeah.
46th
Get out there on the wire, Howard. All right. Got the side question going on. One other quick thing. Now, we heard about this late yesterday. This guy who is a Pakistani national, somehow or another was in this country, and he was plotting, the FBI got him, to kill President Trump. We didn't know about it until yesterday, but the Secret Service and others, Dan, knew about this prior to when Trump was shot. So when you know this Pakistani guy, in league apparently with the Iranians, was caught plotting to kill President Trump, and that is the Secret Service that you put up in Butler. We're still back to that. It's stunning. Just stunning what they've been up to or not up to.
No inside job?
Well, imagine, though, thinking, yeah, that'll be good enough, even though the Iranians are trying to kill Trump.
Enough, yeah.
And they actually have the guy who they did a sting with to get him and arrest him on this. They withheld information on that. But the report today, the update was they knew about it. They were copied on it. My God.
Call in Melissa McCarthy and Paul Blart Mall Cop.
Yeah, it is just stunning stuff. All right, 855-839-1210. If you've never seen that film, too, it's a documentary, Man on a Wire. This guy's still doing this at 75, not 1,350 feet above the streets of Manhattan. I'd have to say I rank that up there as the greatest physical feat that I've ever seen. What do you say?
Yeah, like tons of things that Evel Knievel did.
I love Mr. Knievel. I interviewed him. I still have that at home.
Are we talking physical feats or like chutzpah feats?
Both, I guess. I mean, you don't think it has chutzpah? He's on a motorcycle jumping over something.
That's what I'm saying. Is I think it takes more chutzpah to do what Evel Knievel did than it did for. Well, I don't know. I mean, it's both. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd rather have a motorcycle jumping over stuff than walking on that wire.
Yeah, but you got to land it. That's the thing.
Well, I realize.
Yeah.
And I did call him Mr. Knievel.
Did you?
Yes.
Did you talk to his son too, Robbie?
Tell me more. What the hell were you thinking? Yeah. He was a good interview. 855-839-1210. All right, jump on board here. We'll get to your calls next on Talk Radio 1210.
Kale and Company, weekday mornings, 6 till 10.
I believe he used to go as the Greater Chris on Twitter. He's now calling himself the Bachelor Chris.
The Bachelor Chris, yeah.
He says crowd size means nothing. Biden had 6 people in a circle at rallies. Trump drew tens of thousands. Biden drew hundreds. Candidates and debates mean nothing. And that's why I'm saying this is why you cannot leave any stone unturned. Yep. I know people aren't going to do it. I'm just wasting my oxygen here. This is why you cannot wait until November 5th to vote. If you don't take advantage of September 16th in that 6-week window, don't tweet me. That's it. Don't tweet me. I don't want to hear from you.
Start your day with Kale and Company. Weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
Hi, I'm Rachel, and I have a serious heart condition called hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, or HCM. Some symptoms include being short of breath, feeling tired, or having dizziness or chest pain. I still had symptoms on my beta blocker, so I asked my cardiologist about any treatment advances. It was a breakthrough for me. That's why I'm working with Bristol Myers Squibb to raise awareness about HCM and to help others like me. Talk to your cardiologist today and visit hcmrealtalk.com for more information.
Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb. Be prepared with CHIP, free or low-cost healthcare for Pennsylvania kids and teens.
From checkups to unexpected bumps and bruises and everything in between, CHIP has you covered. Don't wait until you need it. Be prepared with CHIP. Because every kid deserves quality health care and every parent deserves peace of mind knowing their kids are covered. CHIP. Free or low-cost health care for kids and teens under age 19. Learn more at chipcoverspakids.com.
Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
With so much uncertainty in the world today, you may find yourself wondering, is now even the right time to retire?
And so many people are waiting, and those folks are going to be waiting a really long time, I hate to say, because there's no perfect time. The market is always unpredictable and volatile.
Fortunately, Jim Cipriotti has been helping get people to, through, and beyond retirement for over 25 years. And each week, he wants to help give you that freedom to retire. Listen to Freedom to Retire with Jim Cipriotti, Saturday mornings at 9 and Sunday afternoons at 5 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
When you need to know, depend on KYW News Radio 1039 FM.
The Kamala Walz campaign blitz starts today visiting battleground states. A Pakistani man has been charged for a plot to carry out political assassinations on U.S. soil. Dozens of calls for help and several evacuations overnight in Edgewater Park, New Jersey, following major flooding in the area.
Get the latest anytime on KYW News Radio. Now on Crystal Clear 103.9 FM.
You've never needed us more.
Hey, Clementon. We know your favorite station is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
All right, Dom Giordano program. We've calmed Dan down with the Springsteen references.
Yeah.
Imagine the phoniest out of the group. I know you think Phil Murphy or Springsteen.
Yeah.
I'd say Beto O'Rourke is the phoniest. Walz and Shapiro there together.
You think Beto's the phoniest? The guy that
yes.
Beto?
Oh, God.
Changed
yes,
his name
changed
for
his
Robert
name
O'Rourke?
from Robert O'Rourke
Yeah.
to Beto.
Yeah, he's not a phony, no.
He's not a phony,
No, not
yeah,
at all.
yeah. And Phil Murphy and the hair there.
Yeah, his fake hair with
Oh, my goodness. Then little Joshy Shapiro in there, and then Walz with a fake Hunter hat on.
Listen to a fake
Yeah, and
artist.
it's Springsteen together. Who would have thought that? All right.
I'm sorry to all our listeners that love Springsteen.
I think the numbers,
like they
Dan,
hate me
have.
for this,
Look, I admire too much intensity. I'll admit that. So that part I admire, and I admire if you find something that's distinctive rather than just song after song. You know, the underlying themes. But that's long ago. I mean, the authenticity of this is so far gone. Talking about tank towns in Jersey, etc. There's nothing left but fraud here.
Like, I'm sure there are a lot of Springsteen fans out there that feel the same way I feel about Howard. How it's, the glory days of the past are still, kind of sparkle, but they're not there anymore because they completely changed. They've sold out, become frauds. It's sad to see.
I had to cover the 20-day, 21-gun salute, 21 days to John Kerry, of all people. I covered it over, I think it was the Spectrum then.
Yeah.
Of Springsteen. Full-on shows, raising all that money, 21 straight days.
Wow. Did you order a cheesesteak hoagie while you were there?
Yeah, exactly. And then Stern, I think you have a good handle on what the heck happened with him. It's stunning. It's amazing. So if I were advising Kamala Harris, is a good question, Dan. Who would you tell her to do an interview with? I would say do it with Stern. You'll be able to spin it that it's Stern. Oh, my God. You can hear them on CNN. These Republicans, they wouldn't go on with Stern. Trump wouldn't do it with Stern now. That'd be an interesting interview. Trump and Stern.
Is he still relevant enough to even
Oh, yeah, they'd be able to use that.
Yeah,
People
I guess
still
when
know
Biden
who
went
Stern
on,
is.
there was like headlines and yeah.
Who would you say she should do it with?
I don't even know, man.
I'm trying to think of the biggest softball.
Like I feel like
throwers
the
out
Young
there.
Turks is kind of an obvious answer, but she's probably going to do that anyway, right?
I guess so. I don't think she's going to do Charlemagne anymore.
Well, no, I think she'll do Charlemagne, definitely. You kidding me? Why not?
That could be problematic.
You think so?
That guy's going to throw a fastball in there somewhere.
I think Charlemagne has more pull than Howard at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd be afraid of him if I were advising. She could, of course, come on this show. That would be fine. All right.
I mean, if she wants to appeal to moderates or open-minded voters, do you go on Rogan?
No,
I mean,
she
Rogan would
do
never
it.
invite her.
All she wants to do is put one up on the board. I did an interview. Now shut up about it. That's all she wants.
Well, yeah.
That's what it is.
I mean, for her benefit, go on MSNBC. Because you're not going to get
Yeah.
a hard question there, right?
Yeah, Jen Psaki will be waiting.
Yeah, Psaki's not going to ask you a
I
thoughtful
love
hard
the
question. Come on.
pantsuit that you're wearing.
Yeah,
All right,
right? Who's your designer?
839-1210. I'm looking today as the market's still moving all over the place. Household debt hits record high among millennials. Hello, Dan. There we go.
Yeah.
Household debt hits record.
Student loan.
So the big story out there right now, they're trying to say is elections are always about the future. Harris, Walz are talking about the future. They are the future. Trump, since he was already president, is the past. Really? They're talking about the future. And what are they telling us will happen in the future? Where is the tangible gain people will have in the future if they're elected? They're not talking about that. All they're talking about is identity. All they're talking about are socialist schemes that don't work. And all they're really trying to do is evade having to answer any questions about anything.
But we're weird.
Now, yeah, Walz has been on Fox doing stuff. We're going to see if he'll do some more. And Dan, I don't find him to be that cagey. Do you find him to be? You think he's relatable? All right, he can fake that to some degree, and some of it's
to his dog. No,
yeah,
he's
some
very
of it's true about it. I don't find him to be that tough to crack. Shapiro would be a fierce interview. I mean, be over the top with my dealings with Shapiro over the years. But this guy is not that cagey. His positions are pretty clear. He can't run away from them. All he's going to do is say, don't you want to feed hungry kids? Is that socialism to you? That's how it always starts off. All right, let me go to Bill in Monco.
Got some Sarah McLachlan on there.
Yeah, Bill in Monco on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Bill, good afternoon to you. Thanks for the wait.
Yeah, sure. I was going to mention about Joe Lieberman being the first Jewish vice presidential candidate. That didn't seem to create a lot of controversy back then. I mean, it was mentioned, but it was accepted pretty well in the Democratic Party, and that kind of tells you how far gone the Democratic Party is, that Josh Shapiro can be so controversial.
I'm very glad you mentioned that because we like Shapiro a lot, thought he was a bold choice. I don't remember the country blanching at that. No one said he lost the election because he was Jewish. They want us to believe, though, that Josh Shapiro being Jewish is something the country wouldn't accept, rather than we know it's the Democrat Party that doesn't accept it.
That's exactly right. And again, that we didn't go through that with Joe Lieberman.
Yeah, exactly right. What's your Midwest thing?
Yeah, the Iowa caucus. Dom, I've been following politics for 55 years, and I don't understand this Iowa caucus at all. Why it has to be in Iowa, why it has to be first, and how that whole caucus thing works, and all the candidates have to flock to Iowa.
I went there
that.
and covered it. Rich Cioli was just breaking into Talk Radio. He was there with me as we went barnstorming on that. And, Bill, I agree with you. And there was like a gentle arrogance of these people. You had to go and talk to them 3 or 4 times to convince them. New Hampshire, Iowa are not the country. Pennsylvania, places like that, should be the starting point of any kind of primary.
That's exactly right. I don't understand it at all.
Thank you, Bill. It's tradition. Dan, you have to be there for it. It is nuts. I remember interviewing people, and they're saying, well, these people, I only saw them 3 or 4 times. I don't know if I can make up my mind or not yet. By the way, I'll hold it up here if you're viewing us on YouTube while listening.
We need an arm check, too.
Yeah. Oh, an arm check. First, the arm check.
Yeah, how's it
Does
doing?
It looks pretty frightening.
No doctor yet?
Well, no doctor. And
Okay.
I got hit over here, and the black and blue, Mark, is over here. But Dan, remember,
is it spread or is it? You know what you should do? Trace it with a marker.
Okay.
And then if it's growing, then
it doesn't hurt. I got to say that.
Okay, that's good.
But the owner of this golf course is still away. Luke's on the case. You know who wants to tag in though and be on the case? I can tell. Oh man, no. DJ. DJ wants to tag in.
Oh, he's probably chomping at the bit, huh?
I could see the negotiations. Then we'll send you in to replicate it. And by the time we get done with this course,
it's gonna be bad.
I'd love to get the guy on. Is what I'm trying to do ultimately.
Yeah.
Not I don't think the pro there would come on, but the owner.
Like a whole Supreme Court.
Yeah, and I'll bring Linda Kearns in. I should have asked her about that. She's still listening. You just can't. I don't know. I'm still being inundated with people saying, well, you decided to play golf. First of all, I didn't sign anything. And you take on risk, but reasonable risk, Dan. You can't have people attack you or something out there and say you took on that risk.
YouTube.com/@12WPHT to see this giant bruise that you're talking about. And this was Sunday, right? And you were out.
Sunday.
You were out. The people behind you, the golf crew behind you, were kind of rushing you.
Yeah, firing balls there.
And not just one ball, not two balls. It was the third ball that they fired.
That's struck,
I think
right.
the fact that they fired 3 balls your way, Dom, we brought up that Supreme Court case on Monday, proves at least negligence, and you might have some kind of court case here. So.
And that's the thing we haven't talked about. Dan, I ask you honestly, you don't have to be a goody two-shoes. I did threaten him with suing because I was just thinking it's either threatening.
What are you going to get, though? Come on.
It's even threatening him with suing or violence here. These are the only 2 options. You know what I mean? These guys were like ciphers, though. Luke agreed with me. They didn't seem to be jerks of any sort.
Yeah.
Now, maybe they were good at clamming up because they knew they were in the wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But, Dan, they could have just blown past us, hit their shots, and kept on going.
Yeah.
Instead, they stopped, and they seemed to be reasonable.
And they were nice.
Would you ever threaten to – what would you have done in that situation? What would have been your confrontation with them?
Like if they're coming up to you, right? They drive up, they're nice, but it's after 3 shots. It almost sounds like the idiots were trying to rush you.
Right.
Something bad happened, and they have to play mum, come up and apologize.
And what would you have said to them?
Well, guys, like, what did you expect to happen? You know?
Yeah.
I don't know what would be the damages that you know.
Oh, I think
free golf for life at this course.
I think I think they're liable, and I think the people that hit you are liable. You could get $10,000 out of this.
Yeah.
Row pain and suffering, marital pain and suffering. I'll throw that.
With you complaining about the bruise on your arm.
Yeah. Oh, I could just see this, Your Honor. Look, come on. This bruise looks pretty bad, Dan.
It does. It does.
It looks like my backswing might be affected by it.
So that's the thing is I think what you would sue for is if there were some kind of medical expenses that came with this.
Yeah.
So that's why exactly. I say if you go to the doctor or something and there's some kind of medical bill, then maybe you might want to go to small claims court and say, hey, guys, you got to cover this.
My bottom line is, you know what it is here, to say just because you think you put a sign up or somebody signed something, you're not relieved from all responsibility. Yeah. It's it's like the immunity thing with the presidency, et cetera. You have qualified immunity here. Reasonably, if I get hit on a golf course and I wasn't in the fairway and the whole thing we went with, you probably are not liable as long as you yell 4. I know you found that to be incredible. If you yell 4, that makes it okay.
100% accurate. I'm sorry, I'm laughing. I'm just imagining the
Supreme
image
Court.
Of you
you didn't yell 4. It's true.
Is there video of this happening?
We have no. There's no video, but we have the aftermath of it.
Well,
yeah,
I don't need that. We don't need to put that.
You know
if
what?
you want it, we can put it out there. I wanted you getting smacked with the golf ball for social media. I thought that'd be hilarious.
It would be, and seeing Luke fired up, who is the milder. Yeah. And even Roe, when I told her about it, said if she had been there, there'd been trouble too.
But similarly to President Trump, you similarly avoided this assassination attempt.
By turning.
Have we ruled out that it is not an inside job? It was not Jimmy Matthews yelling for Murr before doing so?
True. And was there any Iranians playing golf there that day that we were Pakistanis yes. based upon this other situation? All right, 855-83. We'll keep updating you. I think it's looking better, Dan. I don't think it's looking worse. It looks ghastly.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you would know.
I think the way to deal with this is to think, oh, my God, I was spared. Really. If you get hit in the head with this, I'm telling you, this guy was not a good golfer, so the ball speed would not be what it's like if it were somebody good. You get hit 200, 225 yards away by somebody good, you could be killed.
Well, in the temple. I mean, it doesn't take that much.
Yeah,
right there in the
or
temple,
you could be damaged pretty severely. So I see no damage. Same talk radio, same stuff as always. If I suddenly said vote for Kamala Harris, then I have another case here. All right, 855-839-1210.
John says, where's the neck brace?
Yeah, the Teddy Kennedy. Put on the neck brace after he swam at Chappaquiddick. By the way, Bob Charger, Dan, passed away. What a nice guy, all-time great DJ. Got to meet him because the station had WOGL at that point, all those guys. Harvey Holiday, people, giants in the industry with us, just passed away the other day. And it reminds me, when we mentioned the neck brace and Teddy Kennedy, of the great Tom Marr, who called him Senator Hot Pants.
Ooh.
Yeah. He called him the Chap of Quiddick, too.
I have great legs, though. Just remember, that's what my wife says.
Bob Charger, passing away, I believe, at the age of 71, was somebody who was a staple in radio in Philadelphia. All right, 855-839-1210, you get in. Now's the time to get Rescue Natural Supplements during their annual Customer Appreciation Sale. Rescue is celebrating you. Save 50% when you mix or match any 5 products or more with the code VIP50. Plus, you'll receive free shipping. Try the popular Rescue 1250 Omega-3 for heart health, Rescue Probiotic for better digestion, or Rescue Oracine for more energy. Again, mix and match any 5 or more single bottles and enjoy 50% off plus free shipping. To place an order, visit res-q.com or call 800-26-ALIVE. Again, that's 800-262-5483. Speak with a knowledgeable Rescue product consultant. If you're new to Rescue, be sure to create your own account to earn more exclusive savings. Again, use the code VIP50 to receive 50% off and free shipping when you mix or match 5 or more Rescue Natural Supplements. That code again, VIP50 at res-q.com.
For eligible individuals, 18 and older only. Results vary. See website for details and important safety information.
How are your hearing aids sounding now?
A little tinny.
Okay, 2 seconds.
With Jabra Enhanced Select's premium package, better hearing doesn't happen in a doctor's office. It happens at home, all done remotely from initial testing to adjustments.
How are they sounding now?
Fantastic. So much better.
You get the same advanced hearing aid technology and professional support you expect from a clinic at a fraction of the cost. And if you have any issues, we'll make adjustments 7 days a week, no charge.
Oh, you people are wonderful.
Our premium package includes hearing aids, 3 years of follow-up care, plus a 3-year warranty with loss and damage coverage, and a 100-day money-back guarantee.
I hear better than I ever thought possible.
Save $300 on Enhanced Select 500 hearing aids automatically at checkout. Just go to JabraEnhance.com/try. That's JABRA Enhance.com/try. JabraEnhance.com/try.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
What happens when Washington liberals spend trillions of dollars? Just look around. Prices are way up. They pushed a bunch of reckless spending, and Senator Bob Casey voted for it. Now we're paying higher gas prices, higher grocery prices, and higher utility bills. Casey helped create this mess by voting with President Biden 98% of the time, including voting for trillions in wasteful spending. Instead of listening to the warnings, Senator Casey sided with the liberals, causing this inflation disaster. Casey voted to let illegals take your tax dollars. He voted to let illegals collect $500 million in COVID relief checks. It's more for illegals and less for us. Come on, Senator Casey. That's just not right. Call Senator Casey at 202-224-6324. Tell him to put Pennsylvania families first and fix his inflation disaster. Support S575, the Fight Inflation Through Balanced Budgets Act. Paid for by One Nation, onenationamerica.org.
Hey, it's Rich Zioli. We all love summer, right? But the beach isn't just for summer. In fact, the beach, and in particular the Cape May beach, is just beautiful in the fall. If you haven't been to Cape May in the fall, you're missing out, and you should book your stay at the Grand Hotel of Cape May for a September to remember. The Grand offers special midweek packages so you can enjoy the beach without breaking the bank. Stay 2 nights and save 10%. Stay 3 nights, get 10% off and $55 a night in resort credits. Stay 5 nights, you're going to get 10% off and $65 a night in resort credits, and they can be used at Hemingway's for food and drink, the gift shop, and so much more. The Grand offers guest rooms, suites, and townhomes equipped with a kitchenette, and they have 2 huge heated pools, 1 outdoor and 1 indoor. I'm telling you, the Grand is my happy place, and you will not be disappointed. Book directly with them for the best rates. Book your stay today at 800-257-8550 or visit them online at grandhotelcapemay.com. And our next live show is Friday, September 6th. So book your stay today, grandhotelcapemay.com.
Inflation, recession, interest rates, the Fed. How do you make sense of it all? Join Joe Yakovich on The Heart of Your Money, Sundays at 9 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Weather sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
The forecast remains unsettled as we head through the rest of the work week. We'll see clouds around today with a few showers possible. It'll be cooler with a high 78. The chance for showers continues tonight with a low 68. And for Thursday, partly to mostly cloudy with some showers with a high near 80.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. For over 35 years, we've grown by offering our clients more offices, more lawyers, and recovering more than $20 billion. Injured? The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
All right, Tom Giordano show. Welcome in. Coming to your calls here about this hit golf ball thing. I'm getting inundated with stuff. At 2 o'clock, we're going to talk with a guy who served with Walls when Walls took off from the National Guard. I think he was a sergeant also. He was outranked by Walls because they were being deployed to Iraq. Has the media really been on this story? No. When Dan Quayle had some funny business with the Guard in Indiana, you may remember. I was just breaking into talk radio full time then, Dan. And when George W. Bush, they said went AWOL, flying planes in the National Guard in Texas, these were national stories beyond belief. It just shows you how far the media has gone, though. They're attacking J.D. Vance for questioning the service of Walls. Well, we'll have a guy that served with him right there in Minnesota coming up at 2 o'clock. Amazing how much they're in the tank with this guy. Let me go, though, to Eric in Belmar on Talk Radio 1210. Eric, I'm told you get hit on the golf course all the time. How could that be?
What? I actually do. I got hit yesterday, and about 2 weeks ago, I hit twice by the same guy. I mean,
what the heck is going on there?
What do you do? Are you like a collector of balls or something?
I don't know. I'm like a ball magnet. It's funny is the guy hit me the second time. I don't even get upset. I took the ball and put it up on the tee. When he came around the corner, I said, that's twice today. He was upset that he did it, but it didn't bother me. I kind of just, it's
Wait,
like
so
you
the
go
same
in the
guy
water,
hit
you
you
get
twice
eaten
in the
by a
same
shark,
day?
you know?
Did he yell for?
Yeah, they do. They do. Sometimes they just don't know, they do. But it doesn't even bother me if they don't yell. Like, I just kind of expect it. It doesn't bother me.
What's the oddest place you got hit with the ball?
Yeah, where have you gotten hit, Eric?
I got hit twice in the leg, once in the back. I've gotten hit in the head from a ricochet off a tree. Like, it happens frequently. Yeah.
Oh, my God. What the heck?
Yeah.
So do you think I'm overreacting, though, to be hit in the arm and thinking, man, if I didn't, if I had been in my stance, it would have hit me in the head. Eric, in the head. Come on.
Yeah, that's. I've had them come through the golf while I was in the cart, come through the golf cart, and just miss my head. And we're talking like bullet line drives. There's a place out in Gilbertsville. You always risk getting hit at least once. There's a course out there in Gilbertsville that's like you're under fire. Like you're under fire pretty much the whole round. Yeah.
See, go golf there.
Dan doesn't understand when you have these intersecting fairways like this course did. That's true. But, Eric, I got to tell you, when you warn the guys 2 times before that, there's going to be trouble when I get hit.
Yeah, well, if they're hitting up on you, that's different. But maybe you're going slow. I don't know. I mean, yeah, those were warning shots, maybe. So.
Sounds like you're speaking from experience.
So, and you also had a Bruce comment, Springsteen.
Well,
comment.
So there's the three people. It's funny how Stern is irrelevant, and the other one I wanted to add in was Jimmy Kimmel. And the irony of Stern and Jimmy Kimmel were that they made their money and their success doing exactly what they're opposing today. So, like Jimmy Kimmel used to do blackface, used to have women jumping in bikinis on trampolines. Now he's all like, anti-objectifying women, and he wants to bury when he did the Karl Malone skits. And Stern made a great deal of his success from taking advantage or using the less fortunate. Maybe it'd be some mentally challenged people or people that were in good. And now all of a sudden they're like these crusaders, and it's like you wouldn't even existed if you hadn't done what you did. And then going to Springsteen, I recall him selling his record catalog and having to get it done in a calendar year because he was taking advantage of a Trump tax break. Had he waited another month, he would have gotten slammed with taxes once Biden took office, if I recall correctly.
Funny how that works. And also, wasn't he a gentleman farmer trying to take those Jersey farming breaks?
Oh, right. And he is regional. He's not nationwide. He's regional, and he's. I don't think he's no longer relevant.
Well, Minnesota has a day dedicated to him. He's at least in Minnesota, right?
Yeah, I think he's. I think he's relevant. Sadly, I still think he is. Yeah, I think he's.
Well, when they did the movie Mask, the true story is the kid was a fan of Bruce Springsteen, but they wanted to use Bob Seger's music because they realized that nationally it was more recognized than Bruce Springsteen was.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Give us something Midwest, Eric. What do you say is Midwest?
Midwest?
Yeah.
Like what you mean as far as the state goes?
Yeah, film, TV show,
show person.
We said keggers and cornfields.
Yeah. Got anything?
I think in Midwest. What's the one with the baseball movie? That's Midwest to me.
Field of Dreams.
That's a great answer.
Field of Dreams. Yeah.
Thank you, Eric.
That's what I think of when I think of Midwest. Yeah.
Call again soon, Dan. That was one of the all-time great calls. Except, Dan, being nonchalant about being hit on a golf course. You can't be.
It's kind of a...
All right, coming up, Dan Time at Dom at 2 o'clock, we're going to hear from the guy who actually served with, is it Stolen Valor, Walls? A guy who bugs out when the National Guard troop was going to go to Iraq. The media doesn't want to cover that one. They covered it previous times when this happens. 855-839-1210, you get in. When you're enjoying your summer, a reminder, this Friday coming up, football returns. It's preseason, and a great reason to call your nearest Captain Chucky's. Get the all-new wild shrimp scampi ravioli. Chucky's teaming up with Vera Pasta, already offering lobster, crab, and now shrimp ravioli, which Ro and I consume regularly. And remember, order the brand-new Bang Bang Jumbo Lump Crab Cake, the Bang Bang Crab Cake. Delicious, creamy, 5-ounce jumbo lump breaded crab cake with a kick. For those who like to spice it up with some heat, check the store for availability. Don't forget all the Captain Chucky's offerings, though. Delicious stuff, mushrooms, salads, sides, desserts, soups, the Dom roll. They're all there. Their golf shrimp, too, is a huge hit. It's always wild caught, never farm raised. For all this great stuff, hours, locations, go to WeLoveCrabCakes.com. WeLoveCrabCakes.com. Headed to the shore. We got you covered. Go to CaptainChucky's@theshore.com.
Hey everyone, it's Donald Trump Jr. Join me and Dom Giordano Thursday, September 12th at the Scottish Rite Auditorium in Collingswood, New Jersey for the next Politics and Pints with WPHT. We will talk all things Trump, the 2024 election, and my father's book, Letters to Trump. South Jersey and PA suburbs are hugely important to electing Donald Trump president. Just head to 1210WPHT.com for tickets right now. Hope to see you there.
Hey, Philly, it's Ike Reese. In the city of brotherly love, the only thing we love more than our teams is great savings. And with unlimited welcome from Verizon, you can save big, even if you're on a single line. For a limited time, single lines start at just $50 a month when you bring your own phone. With auto pay plus taxes and fees, that's a savings of $15 a month. And when you switch, now you can save on the things you love, like Netflix and Max, all on the most awarded 5G network. Now that's a real win. There's never been a better time to switch to the network America relies on. But this offer won't last long. Visit your local Verizon store to switch and save big today.
$180 BYOD promo credit and $360 local promo credit applied over 36 months. For new customers with one line on your own 4G, 5G phone on unlimited welcome plan required. Additional terms apply. Auto pay and paper-free billing required. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. $10 a month for each My Plan perk. Additional terms and conditions apply per perk. work.
No one is happy to discover that the air conditioner is broken, and it always breaks on the hottest day of the summer in the middle of the night. That's why so many homeowners have Oliver's Peace of Mind membership. For as little as $13 a month, Oliver maintains your home's cooling, heating, plumbing, and electrical systems all year long. Membership also includes annual inspections, exclusive discounts on repairs and replacements, and priority emergency service. Call Oliver today or visit us online at oliverheatcool.com.
40 days to lose up to 40-plus pounds with NJ Diet. It only takes 40 days to lose a contractually guaranteed 20 to 40-plus pounds. NJ Diet uses your hair, saliva, and blood work to personalize supplements that will target your hormonal imbalances so you can lose that weight. Then NJ Diet uses your DNA info to help you keep it off. Call Dr. T, 855-5NJ-DIET, or go to njdiet.com. 40 days up to 40 pounds, 40 days up to 40 pounds, NJ Diet.
Have you subscribed to our YouTube channel yet? Do it today at 1210 WPHT. WPHT.
They're running a strange program, y'all.
It's Dan time.
I can handle things. I'm smart, not like everybody says.
Thank you to Dan for booking me. You know, he's the best.
Oh, some Linda Kearns compliments in the intro now. I like that.
God,
yeah.
how did that? You know, the producers lounge back. They have too much time on their hand. Dan in the own Dan Time show, double.
Jim comes to me during the break. He goes, check my folder. I got that folder.
Oh, my God.
I love it. Thank you, Jim. So, Dom, during the break, I actually had a whole thing prepared about the Olympics and some updates, but you said that you have some fashion advice you want to ask me about?
Yeah, for anniversary. Our anniversary is August 4th.
Yep.
Ro got me these beautiful shirts. This one black shirt is just
like a button down? What are we talking here?
The problem is, yes, there's these little buttons, you know, on the side with the collar, the tiny buttons that button it back into the shirt.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that stuff. You look dorky with that.
The
I
button-down
never would
collar?
wear that. Yes.
Yeah.
What do you say?
Oh, that's actually a really good question, man. It really depends on the width of the collar for me, I guess.
You can't wear a tie with it.
Because there are some button-down collars that they're designed to have the exact length for the button, and if it's unbuttoned, sometimes it kind of comes up and you can see the button under it.
Yes.
And it kind of looks messy, right? Sloppy. So I feel like a lot of times in that situation, I do keep it buttoned.
I can't stand, but you can't wear a tie with that.
So, yeah, how are you wearing it, though? Are you wearing it open? Like, you going full Italian? You going to wear a gold chain?
Always with the chest hair and the gold chain. No.
See, the more open the collar is, the more also I'd be encouraged to unbutton those buttons.
Yes. Well, we're returning them today. That's my fashion statement on the Joseph A. Beck. Yes. Hopefully.
So, okay, because you want to get a non-button.
I love the shirt, but you can't wear a tie with it.
Yeah. Well, I think you can.
Oh, God, it looks
You
awful.
think it looks dweebish?
Yeah, dweebish, to put it mildly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to take some shots of it today. Hopefully, we're going to find something.
You know, dress shirts aren't really my forte, I guess.
No,
it's more Hawaiian shirts.
Wearing the tablecloth, as Minnie said the other day.
The curtains. It's the curtains, not the tablecloth.
What else do you have?
So Snoop Dogg, a guy that also likes to wear curtains, very prominent at the Olympics. Dom, how much do you think he's making per day?
I didn't see the figure, but they made it like it's enormous.
$500,000 per day as Special Olympics correspondent.
Over the course of how many days? 20 days?
Yeah, I don't know how
so?
many days the Olympics is. I guess I should know.
What is the magic of this guy as a cultural figure?
I love him. I think he's great. I think he's still hip. You know, you can have him perform. Right. So he's been doing concerts in the Olympic villages and such. I think the athletes actually want to go see a concert of Snoop Dogg still.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Australian men's field hockey player Tom Craig in some hot water after trying to buy cocaine at the Paris Olympics time.
Who wouldn't?
Sydney McLaughlin, a fantastic girl from New Jersey. Maisie's little sister actually raced against her. One of the greatest hurdler of all time. Amazing race yesterday to qualify. Now Thursday she'll be competing in the finals. And Dom, if you look at the world record, the gold of the 400-meter hurdles, it's all Sydney at this point. She is a fascinating athlete out in New Jersey.
That is an incredibly tough thing. Dan, when I played intramural at high school level, the track coach was there watching me play, my build then, the whole thing.
Oh, no.
He wanted me to run the 110, meter high hurdles.
Yeah?
He wanted me to come the next morning at 7 o'clock to try it in the parking lot.
So are you saying that the coach?
I have great legs, though. Just
Yes,
remember.
yeah,
That's
there you
what my
go.
wife
Well,
says, at least.
you know, I was thinking of the family jewelry there.
Oh, okay.
No way. Would you like to try to hurdle while running at full speed? You got to be. It's nuts.
Well, you saw Suni Lee's final on the beam.
Yes.
She didn't collapse, but she fell off the beam right onto the groin area. And could you imagine?
Well, how about the guy with the pole vault that just hit the thing and fell backwards?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So some previews of the closing ceremonies coming out now, Dom. And Thomas Jolly, the artistic director, said he's going to combine wonder with dystopia, quote, suggesting some darker elements than the, quote, joyful tone of the opening ceremony. Yeah, it's going to be fun to talk about.
They're going to let this
wait.
maniac outrage again. They still haven't learned the lesson.
And we're talking about the big high-rise, wire act. Tom Cruise is set to perform a death-defying stunt at the, quote, dystopian Olympics closing ceremony, something involving the rings. So we'll see how that goes. That's all I got for Dan Time today.
All right, great Dan Time stuff. The high hurdles. Oh, my God. I have great respect for that. Coming up, we're going to talk with a guy who has come out now. He's been trying to tell people about Governor Tampon Tim Walz for a while. He's a retired command sergeant major who replaced him when the governor, the all shucks guy, wouldn't go to Iraq with his troops. Why is the media not covering this story? You get him next. You get Dan Time. You get Dom's Money Melody also. 855-839-1210. Get in now.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I got those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real, and I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hi, Stephanie from Emmons. Are you not loving your bathroom? Is the King's Throne looking a little outdated and run down? Let Emmons Design Specialists design a bathroom that you will love and one that Emmons will redo in as little as 1 day. An affordable, maintenance-free bathroom with little to no inconvenience to you and your family. With finance options available, there's really only one problem. Your bathroom will be so nice, your king may never want to come out. Call Emmons today at 856-885-6677 or visit us on our website at callemmons.com.
Hey, it's Rhea. Keep the summer vibes going with Lexus of Cherry Hill during the Golden Opportunity Sales Event. They are proudly celebrating 35 years in business. Over 300 new and L-certified pre-owned Lexus to choose from, and the all-new GX has arrived. Being veteran-owned, family-operated, and a 6-time J.D. Power Dealer of Excellence winner, Lexus of Cherry Hill provides luxury customer service. So go talk to Tony and his team to set yourself up with some of the best deals of the year. Visit LexusofCherryHill.com.
For J.D. Power Dealer of Excellence information, visit jdpower.com/US-DOE.
Are you worried about the state of the economy? Concerned about market crashes and rising inflation wiping out your savings? At Noble Gold Investments, we understand your fears and have a solution. Call us today at 1-888-403-1050. Imagine safeguarding you and your family with a tangible asset that has stood the test of time. Gold. With Noble Gold Investments, you can diversify your portfolio and protect your wealth from economic turmoil. Our team will guide you through the process, ensuring you make informed decisions that best suit your needs. Call Noble Gold Investments today at 1-888-403-1050. That's 1-888-403-1050. The future is uncertain. Take control now. Call 1-888-403-1050.
Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential. But finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
On Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
All right, it is Dom time. Welcome in, everyone. We'll have Dom's Money Melody coming up. Tom Behrens is the person we're waiting on. He is a former fellow veteran who yesterday Dan contacted him. Has been speaking out on Walls and the misleading statements about a military record. There's been stolen valor claims, but there's also been this notion that even though Walls served in the National Guard, when they were going to be deployed to Iraq, he suddenly quit. So we're waiting on him. You know, sometimes these guys come out and then they're inundated.
So he specifically said he had a meeting that was might run late. So
okay. All right.
Give him a ring and we'll get him going here.
Yeah, we'll get him going as soon as we can. But if you remember back to Dan Quayle, and I certainly realize there were some things that Dan Quayle had to rightfully answer questions about in the National Guard service. It was incredible, the firestorm when Bush announced him as his VP. And then George W. Bush, Dan Rather, and the whole thing of the National Guard, and he went AWOL, et cetera. Well, what about Walls? What about this service in the National Guard that Democrats are touting? And then suddenly he ends up dropping out, not even signing it, apparently. They dropped him down a rank as a result of this. He was in command, or one of the commanders, of the group that was headed to Iraq at the height of the war. Again, if you want to tout the military record, let's get the full record out there. Let's ask him about that. We'll see if he's going to take any questions on it. And they're going after J.D. Vance today because Vance is talking about his own military service, which is exemplary, Marines in Iraq, versus Walls, who would not go. Here's a little bit, and this is of Tom Behrens, Command Sergeant Major.
Yeah, this is from Alpha News, a great piece that they did about him.
Okay, here's what he said about Walls, and then he's in the on-deck circle. We'll talk with Tom in a moment.
The public needs to know how pathetic his leadership was as a National Guardsman.
On a 150-year-old farm in Brewster, Tom Behrens hopes his tell-it-like-it-is style will finally get the attention he believes it deserves in Minnesota's race for governor. In a way, he's back again to wage a public war of words against Tim Walz.
He abandoned us. You know, I mean, what the hell kind of leader does that? I mean, he just, as soon as the shots were fired in Iraq, he turned and ran the other way and hung his hat up and quit.
All right, let's go to Tom Behrens here, Command Sergeant Major. And you heard those allegations around Governor Walz. He joins us on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Tom, welcome to Philadelphia, and thank you both for your service and for your attempts over the course of time to kind of, shall we say, be transparent about the record with Governor Walz. So what is the major complaint that you've been talking about around the governor?
Well, the major complaint, you know, one of them is stolen valor, you know, utilizing a rank in your political career more or less just for political gain and saying that you're something that you're not. And the other one is, being in charge of a whole battalion of, 500 to 600 soldiers, women and men that are preparing to go to combat, and you basically say the hell with it and walk out the door. And then trying to whitewash it somehow that really ain't what happened, and just lying to the general public basically, and deceiving them, because the military is kind of complex, and there's a lot of rank structure, and different regulations are tough to understand even in the military. And in the civilian world, he can blow smoke and talk the talk and make people think that what he's saying is the real deal. But this stuff that went on back then, it was all lie. He lied about things. He deceived people. He's got documents dating back to when he ran for office way back then that show that he thinks he's a command sergeant major and that he retired as one. And there's video clips all over the country that show that he's said that many times. And
in fact, Tom, sorry to interrupt, Tom. He was dropped in rank, and apparently, I read in one account, you would know better, he apparently didn't officially sign it or something. He just sent notice. And what was that about? Why would he do that?
Well, I think what he did is, and I've had other soldiers say that they were at battalion when he quit. And I was up at Devarty. I was in division artillery. After he quit, I got the call and I went in his place. But when he quit, he basically, I think he snuck out or slid. The best term is probably slithered out the door, and tried to just allow the paperwork to maybe catch up with him and maybe not. Because, if I would have done what he did and I said, well, I'm quitting, I'm not going to Iraq, I don't like Bush's war and whatever, that's what I'm going to do, I'd have went into the office and I'd have said, my paperwork needs to state that I need to be reduced to master sergeant. I want that filled out so I can sign it and be done. And he basically snuck out. He ended up with an honorable discharge, which I question whether he even should have got it, because he should have had repercussions, I think, for doing what he did. I mean, he was a political activist back then. He campaigned for Kerry. He was actually worked for the Kerry campaign when he, I'm pretty damn sure he shouldn't have done that, and he should have been reprimanded for it. But I think he just left with all that, hoping it wasn't going to catch him. And then the state of Minnesota caught it, and they reduced him to E8 that fall. But, the soldier was not available for signature because he wasn't a soldier anymore. He was a civilian running for office because he thought that was more important than.
What do you say, Tom, to the argument they seem to be making? First of all, when this is announced, Democrats, progressives, and he's a military guy, they're saying, but look at all those years of service in the Guard. It was 2 decades. What do you say to that?
Well, there's a lot of people that serve for a long time, and I would say that he did 24 years of mediocre service and wearing a frumpy uniform and doing whatever he did, and he did hit things pretty good where he actually was in position to have a higher rank, and that's he's a good talker. I mean, he's pretty good at convincing people that he's smarter than he is, or whatever the hell you want to put it. But I think that's kind of what just happened with it is, he got to that position, and I think when the order came out, said you get ready to go to Iraq, I think he either was a coward and didn't want to go, or he just decided he was a traitor and hated the country and didn't want to fight for it, or maybe he didn't like the Iraq War, or all of the above. I really don't know, but I mean, it's just a bad deal.
So, Tom, I wanted to ask you, as a result, I'm very glad you called in because, Dan did a good job finding you, but then people get a lot of blowback if they continue to talk out on this. Since this has come up, now that it's national news, what has it been like for you? Are you getting people coming at you?
Not coming at. I mean, I've got an awful lot of news outlets that are like, why hasn't this been brought out? And please call me and talk to me and get me on Zoom and whatever, because they want to hear the general public wants the truth. They don't want media, no matter whether it's mainstream or any other one. They want the truth brought out, and they don't want something like this buried underneath, some agenda that some newspaper has, like what happened in the Twin Cities. I mean, the Twin Cities paper that I talked to, I'm not going to name them, but they basically, I told them, the reporter said, these are very serious accusations. And I said, yep. And I said, they're damn near all true. And I said, here's the people you need to talk to vet it. And I said, if it comes back as true, I'd appreciate it if you publish it. And if you don't, and if they don't come back true, then sue me for slander. And the guy came back and he said, well, I got a hold of people, and what you said is true. We're thinking of publishing a story. And about a half a day later, he got back and said, well, my editor nixed it because it's too close to the election and they don't want to influence the election.
Yeah.
Well,
there's another guy, too, Paul, right, that has spoken
Paul
out.
Herr.
Yeah, her. It's not just you, Tom Behrens. It's not just somebody holding a grudge. Now, Tom, when I started in talk radio, the first time I was on during the daytime was Dan Quayle and the National Guard. I thought it was appropriate that Quayle had to answer some questions. Now, there was bias in the media, too, but I thought it was appropriate to bring them up, but they never let up with it. George W. Bush, I thought it was appropriate to some level, but I think he answered them about going AWOL or not. Those are two really prominent, both happen to be conservative Republicans. This guy, if they're going to use the military badge here around this to tout him as a mainstream guy, which he's not, and you probably know that better than anybody, then we ought to take a look at this. So since your name has been out there, are you being contacted by a CBS, NBC, any of those wanting to talk with you?
Yeah, I've had some of those. Good. I've had a lot of New York calls. I mean, okay. I haven't got one from CNN yet, but like somebody said this morning, don't hold your breath. But
yeah,
I mean that's the thing. I mean, I'm open to talk to anybody about it, and I'm not going to beat around the bush. I mean, this is how it is. This is what it is. I mean, the guy deserted his unit. He literally walked out the door, didn't even look over his shoulder back at the unit, and said, to hell with you, I'm gone. And, it's no different than what Bergdahl did in Afghanistan. He walked away from his damn unit and, he just said to hell with it and he was gone. It's just sad. It's just absolutely sad. But, he spun such a damn lie about it for so long. I think he just actually, maybe he believes the lie himself.
That
I really
happens.
don't know what happened.
Tom Behrens with us here on Talk Radio 1210, Command Sergeant Major in that unit. How long did the unit stay in Iraq, and were there people that were wounded or killed?
Oh yeah, we ended up, we trained for 6 months in Mississippi. Then we went to Iraq. It was supposed to be a year, 12 months, but we got extended when the surge hit, when the sectarian violence hit, and then we ended up being in country for 17 months. And then, we ended up losing 3 people, Kyle Miller and David Berry and Robert Basham. And, they gave their life. The sad thing is they gave their life so that a politician can try to get away with a lie, which sucks. And we had multiple people wounded, in the 24 probably range, I would say. We had a lot of good protective equipment that we wore, our body armor, and we had blast walls and all kinds of things around her. But they're pretty smart and crafty too, and they figure a way to try to sneak things in there and get you. But it was we had a lot of loss of life and wounded.
Yeah. Well, Tom, look, we commend you. And finally, you're telling me you're sort of being listened to in this. Give us an idea when Walls was serving there, though, if you had any real knowledge of him. Was he as left as he is now, or did that come later?
I really don't know, how his preference. I would, when we went to England, when we went in Europe, that's the first time I really heard him talk anything political. And and he was on the abortion stuff. We were actually in Bastogne doing a road march to commemorate the Battle of the Bulge, and we're just out having a beer, and he was spouting all this political shit, and I was kind of taken aback because I'd never really talked to him, because I'm not somebody that likes to listen to somebody talk about themselves, so I kind of distanced myself from him.
That. By the way, a nice touch on your part. Is it your farm? You have giant silos and you have stuff up wall straighter, wall so the silo advertising is a nice touch.
I know that. Well, that was just. I mean, it's just sad with that, and after he got out, he always tries to portray himself as some shucks, I'm a Southern Minnesota guy, and I'm wearing flannel and I'm making my wild rice stew and doing whatever, but he literally is, he's farther left than the left coast, whichever coast that is, but he's horrible when it comes to the policies that have happened in Minnesota are just he doesn't even give a shit about the right side at all. I mean, it's just, you're not even a human.
Yeah, and Tom, the other thing about him with the National Guard, we know, and you probably jumped on that too, he wouldn't send in the National Guard. And then he says he told the mayor during the George Floyd summer, well, they're only 19-year-old cooks. In other words, disparaging the National Guard and saying they could not, even though the training seemed to be pretty rigorous where you are.
Well, exactly. It doesn't matter what you are. When we train for that clerk or that cook or that medic or anybody. Everybody is trained the same, and then you have your specialty that you do. I can't take a mechanic out there that's made for changing brakes and I could make him a cook, but he's got to get trained. Well, when he said that, I had a talk radio guy get a hold of me then too, and I was just like, well, here's to all the 19-year-old cooks out here, hats off to you. I'd rather bring any of you up to combat than Walls because I'd have to have a diaper on him probably.
Tom, you are a treasure. Again, Thank you for your service. We'd like to be in touch with you as this continues, and thanks for spreading the word. Let's see if the media now do to you, because I got to tell you, it's a heck of an interview. I think they're going to want to talk with you. I hope they do, and that Walls is finally asked about this.
Exactly, because I've had it out there for years and years, and he did say a little dinky bit in October of 22, but he has never. I challenge him to a debate. I look forward to debating him and say, why did you quit and leave your soldiers hanging? And I want to hear the damn response from him. And I hope that J.D. Vance has that question when they debate, and he has to backpedal and try to dig his way out of this hole, because he dug the hole. He dug it damn deep, and he ain't going to be able to get out of it.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you very much for coming on today. Really appreciate it.
You bet. Thank you. Be in touch.
All right. Tom Barron, Stan. Isn't it a wonder of this business? You've been dealing with him behind the scenes. I thought he might be afraid to come on because by now the whole apparatus, they're going to go after him. They're not going to let this out there. Part of their kingpin of this whole thing, he's relatable. He's a hunter. He's a military guy. What does he talk about last night? Banning weapons. Bruce Springsteen. Yeah. Oh, that's going to relate. Rural Pennsylvania. You saw the boss with Phil Murphy and Beto O'Rourke and Governor Shapiro? Oh, my God, we're going to vote against Trump now. What do you make of that, Dan? Look, these guys,
great. He was awesome.
These guys have grudges over the years, but I got to, I've interviewed 100. I got to say this. He has this guy dead to rights because he refused to sign when he left. He was willing to take the drop in rank. The signature apparently would have triggered maybe a trail there or something.
And I think what really bugs people, especially those that are service members, when they hear stuff like Walls. And on Twitter, I think it was Jimmy Matthews or someone, it's like, Trump bone spurs didn't serve anything. The thing is, though, Trump's not running on the aspect of stolen valor. He's not acting. He's not acting like he was more than he was. And when faced with some kind of active situation, to back down in the way he did and then try to portray himself as the rank that he never actually achieved, there's an issue here that needs to be questioned.
Exactly. You know how I get on this? I was telling somebody last night, Dan, you can imagine Roe. You don't do this to Maisie, I don't think. But, I try to be calm and not rehash the show. You know that afterward. I don't like to constantly be with guys. Oh, talk radio. I just got hit with a ball. I'm dealing with that. No, nothing. So anyhow, we're talking about this, and I told her the thing I resent most that's happened over the last couple months is when that pipsqueak governor, Beshear of Kentucky, was trying to take away J.D. Vance's identity in this. J.D. Vance suffered tremendous pain during his childhood, etc., growing up in a tremendously difficult situation. You come after me and say, well, you're not really South Philly. That's it. The gloves are off. They're off beyond belief. You're not going to take away. You may differ with me. You may differ with my perception of South Philly or something like that, but you're not taking that away. And J.D. Vance earned it. This guy, as far as I can tell, should not get the military credit. He ought to shut up about it. Democrats ought to drop it. But that's the allure of this guy. He's middle America, even though he's a Marxist. That's wonderful, isn't it? Bernie Sanders can't say, I served in the military. No. They finally got a guy who served in the military, and he was a coach. She calls him coach. Oh, man. Yeah. Can you, hey, coach, come on out here and diagram what the Eagles should be doing. All right.
I had cold feet I thought it was getting cold for another reason.
Yeah.
I expected the campaign or some kind of PAC or organization to kind of get their hands on him and control the media.
You know what? Let this guy talk.
I honestly, I think that needs to happen for the reason that I think this guy needs protection.
Yeah, but I would say let him talk. He comes across as real. You know what I mean? He's buttoned up on this, even though he got a little carried away with the language.
Yeah, thankfully we have a dump button.
That's it.
Yeah.
855
YouTube.com/12.
Yeah, give us your reaction to Tom Behrens, other than Jimmy Matthews. All right, Dan, it's time.
It's Dom's Money Melody.
So money gone.
Yes, today we're playing for a 4-pack of tickets. I don't have my full script. It's, you know why? Because
the yellow paper.
It's in yellow paper again.
Yep.
What kind of operation
is
this? No, I have it.
All right.
Well, it's cut up. Yes, former Goonies. It's all project. No, here we go.
All right.
4-pack of tickets to see the Reading Phillies versus the Erie Seawolves at First Energy Stadium in Reading, Pennsylvania, Sunday, September 8th. For tickets, visit ReadingPhillies.com. All right, Dan.
Yeah, so Dom, today I left it up to Frank, our production director. I asked him, when you think of an artist, musician, singer from the Midwest, who is it that immediately comes to mind? And this is the first name that popped out. And it was actually a cool factoid that Frank provided me, too, that he heard about the new VP candidate.
I think you're blaming him in case this doesn't fly. We'll see.
Yeah, you know what? I'll throw him under the bus. Yeah, sorry, Frank. So, Dom, today we're looking for the cover artist. We've done him before a couple of times, but we want to know who this singer is that's known for being from the Midwest.
This is big in the Midwest.
Oh, it's huge. This guy's a legend, actually.
Oh.
Well, it's because this cover, Dom, is actually known, it's from a lost tape of his, and it's known as one of his greatest guitar solos of all time in the cover. But we're looking for today's cover artist known for being from the Midwest.
I got to say, with some of these covers, I think I would give up on listening to music after hearing them. My God. Whew. All right, hit us with that, 855-839-1210, and you're off to see the Reading Phillies. Give me your reaction to Tom Behrens laying out his experience with Governor Walz. The military guy, is he going to answer any questions? How long before they get it? I say Kamala Harris, my tip of the day, go on the Howard Stern show. Imagine Walz on with Howard Stern. Oh, my God. They'd be talking Midwest stories. Howard on the Midwest.
Mr. Relatable himself from the Hamptons talking about throwing frisbees to dogs.
Yeah. 855-839-1210. Harley Davidson going woke. I'll give you more details on that, too, coming up on Talk Radio 1210.
Cancer, a scary word, but not so scary if you have the right team. Hi, this is John DeMasi, host of Health Watch, Sundays at 8 and again at 4 here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. And that team is Dr. Molly Fantasia and the medical staff at Innovative Medical Associates. Yes, cancer is a scary word and a difficult condition if you've been diagnosed. Over the years, the staff at Innovative Medical Associates has helped hundreds of patients with their unique medical hydration protocols. Cancer support is a large part of the practice at Innovative Medical Associates.
We believe in medical hydration. We've improved it so much that we are able to help people across the board with challenges before they become chronic.
Talk about improving your quality of life. Most likely, that'll happen when you visit Innovative Medical Associates. Check them out on the web at innovativemedicalassociates.com or call 856-489-0505 to schedule your initial complimentary consultation.
Over the summer, get a jump on the new school year for your child. Special tutoring and custom instruction is available from METC, the Motivational Educational Tutoring Company. Now's the time to call Kathy Ganna and make the most of these summer months and get a plan in place for your student this fall. Call the Motivational Educational Tutoring Company. For over 30 years, METC's tutoring studio, founded by educator Kathy Ganna, has helped people of all ages grow personally and academically. Call Kathy today at 215-493-4200. METC offers motivational SAT prep as well as academic skills and leadership training. Call 215-493-4200. Visit online at METC.com. Call METC's tutoring studio today at 215-493-4200 or email Kathy directly at info@metc.com. Remember, 1210 listeners receive a free 1-hour consultation. Take advantage of this opportunity to help your child get one-on-one help. Call 215-493-4200.
Right now, we know everybody's probably thinking the same thing. How can I get a free furnace? How did they know, you ask? Well, we're Horizon Services. That's what we do. So here's what we're thinking. Right now, get a new AC system installed, which you'd probably already thought about doing anyway because it's been so hot outside. And you'll get that free furnace. See, I told you we were thinking. Get a new AC and you get a new furnace free. You're getting AC. Why not a free furnace? Book now at horizonservices.com.
Summer is here, which means pool days, beach trips, and yeah, you guessed it, traffic jams. Oh yeah, and heat waves. Don't let summer catch you by surprise. Get the local news you need, no matter what you're up to, with the free Odyssey app. And never miss a beat with alerts on breaking stories sent directly to your phone. Listen today on the free Odyssey app. That's AUDACY.
What if I told you your home movies are already past their prime? It's true. The magnetic tape used in VHS and camcorder tapes only lasts between 10 to 20 years, which means your baby's first steps, weddings, and family vacations are fading away as we speak. Digitizing your old media with Legacy Box stops this fading process in its tracks. And by preserving your recordings, they're safe forever. Legacy Box is simply the best way to preserve your past, which is why they've been trusted by over 1 million families. Your memories are meant to be shared, not chewed up by the VCR or worn away with time. For a limited time, you can convert your tapes to digital for just $9 a tape. There's never been a better time to convert your entire collection. That includes film reels and photos too. Visit legacybox.com/value to get our $9 sale. That's legacybox.com/value to unlock our $9 offer. legacybox.com/value.
Miss any of the Dom Giordano program? Download and follow 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app.
It's Dom Money Melody.
Where has all the money gone?
Show me the money.
All right, today we have a cover song. Today's theme, thank you, Governor Walz, something that is Midwest. And this singer apparently is the king. I was thinking it's the polka guy, John Candy, in Home Alone.
Yeah.
That's the Midwest.
I mean, I was ready to go with John Cougar Mellencamp.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So we're looking today down for the cover artist. Take a listen. Huge clue coming up right now.
Sounds like yacht rock or something that you like in there. That's Let's go to Tony in Philly. All right, Tony, who is that?
Well, I wasn't sure at first. I was going to take a guess at it, but when he said guitar player and he just played that now, is that Prince?
Oh, my goodness.
That was really lucky.
That is tremendous, Tony. Never would have gotten that in a million years. I'll put you on hold. We'll get your prize. So Frank thinks that Prince is the Midwest.
Yeah, very, very much associated with Minnesota. To the point in Minneapolis, he had the Paisley Park recording studios there, to the point that new VP candidate Governor Walz used a purple pen while wearing all purple on a purple tablecloth to sign into law that State Highway 5 would be renamed after Prince himself. So it's a Prince Rogers Nelson Memorial Highway dedicated by Governor Walz out there in Minnesota.
All right, so Dan, activists are claiming that Harley-Davidson going woke this week is the Sturgis, South Dakota extravaganza that Fox seems to be putting on every show today. I'm not sure the backlash, what the reason is. The rough and tough company going woke, progressive policies, DEI, with Harley-Davidson. We'll check into that and see. Somehow I doubt it, but anything's possible. Rich Lowry of National Review, Dan, has, you don't need to pull the sound on this. I'll just summarize it. He, on Fox today, gave a lesson to Governor Walz. What is the difference between being neighborly, that's what this guy says socialism is, and just being a neighbor, a good neighbor? Lowry says, a neighbor comes to me, I let him borrow my rake. That's neighborliness. Elderly woman across the street needs her sidewalk shovel. That's neighborliness. We all get together, we throw a block party. That's being a good neighbor. Real human-to-human personal connection. No government involved. That's called neighborly. Existed long before socialism. Socialism, this is a great line, at its best is impersonal and inefficient. At its worst, it's inhumane and monstrous. Now, I don't know if the media has any kind of brain for their own good fodder, good stuff to give to whoever's watching them. But if they don't bring up socialism with this guy, I mean, he's using the word, he said that's just being a good neighbor. And play this out. And we go through this all the time. Every 5 or 10 years, socialism comes back. And usually it's with kids that are just in college, something of that nature, and they think, wow, that sounds like a really good idea. Why are you against that? The inefficiencies of central planning, that's at the core of socialism. Yeah, okay, here's a little bit
so with the Harley-Davidson,
yeah.
It stems from, so there's been a lot of information posted by Robbie Starbuck over on Twitter.
Okay.
About the CEO, Jonathan Zeitz, or Jochen Zeitz. And Starbuck alleges that Zeitz, CEO of Harley-Davidson, admits on video that he became the Taliban for sustainability, co-founded the B team with Richard Branson to advance wokeness in corporations, signed statements backing an end to fossil fuels, calls for the total transformation of our food and financial systems to adopt wokeness, called for a great reset in 2020 to address climate change, misinformation, and DEI, signed Harley onto the UN Global Compact, advocates for businesses to, quote, shift norms using their power to advance DEI, helped establish the Business Refugee Action Network to promote migrants in Europe. The B team supported Target, allowing men in women's bathrooms. Continues writing, there's much more that we'll be exposing, but now you know why Harley went woke.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this is, and look, this is one of the real tough ones to give up. But Dan, Bud, because it is the American beer, and also how cheap it was, people did that. Would they really switch over? When I think of a motorcycle, what's the first thing that comes ahead? That's a brand, they got it. Harley, right?
Yeah.
That's what I think
Yeah,
of.
you would think, yeah.
Yeah, so with Sturgis this
I have
week.
some audio, you want it?
Yeah.
This is CEO Jochen Zeitz talking about whether they should trust that his PR stunt of going woke is for real.
And if you think about this divisiveness, I just want to visit it a little bit again, because I think we can all agree that we're living through a crisis of trust. And a lot of people struggle with trusting their governments today, trusting business, trusting media. Tell those listening why they should trust that this is a transformation that is actually meaningful and not just a PR stunt. Tell them why this is for real.
Well, I mean, I don't want to say follow science or listen to science. Some don't like science, but I always think that, you know, if there's a chance that is significant that something bad happens, you would try and minimize that chance. Whether it's about you getting ill or a friend of yours getting ill, you try everything to avoid that, right? So you don't need total certainty and belief to try and ensure that something bad doesn't have a chance of happening. So I think that's how you have to look at it, whether you believe in climate change or not, whether you believe in biodiversity or not. If the chances are high that something bad could happen, you want to avoid it. You would avoid that for your family, for your loved ones, and for your friends, and therefore you should do it for the planet and for your fellow citizens. So I just think there's it's not an ideological battle that we're having to fight. We just have to just make it happen. And we did, you know, if you think about the ozone layer.
Okay, Dan, we got the point. That guy's the head of Harley now? Oh, my God.
Seems like a match made in heaven.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
How do they infiltrate everything good? And as soon as they do, what are they going to do? Just make motorcycles that people love. Nope, can't do that.
It's been a move towards Indian motorcycles, which is nice to see. Yeah.
All right, 855-839-1210. That's how you get on board. Coming to your calls. Got the side question in play, too. The best place to bet the games this summer is FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge Casino, America's #1 sportsbook, because right now, new customers, you get $150 in bonus bets if that first $5 bet wins. Then you can bet on all your favorite international teams, all the favorite sports, basketball to badminton, soccer to swimming. FanDuel has it all. Don't miss your chance to score $150 in bonus bets if that first bet wins. Join FanDuel.com/Dom to sign up. Start betting the games today. Make every moment more with FanDuel. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 1210 WPHT. Have to be 21 plus. Present in Pennsylvania. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, 1-800-GAMBLER.
The forecast remains unsettled as we head through the rest of the work week. We'll see clouds around today with a few showers possible. It'll be cooler with a high 78. The chance for showers continues tonight with a low 68. And for Thursday, partly to mostly cloudy with some showers with a high near 80.
Weather sponsored by First Harvest Credit Union.
Build stronger financial roots with First Harvest Credit Union. Open a growth savings account and earn as high as 3.5% annual percentage yield while having flexible access to funds. Visit firstharvestcu.com for details. Membership restrictions apply. Insured by NCUA.
You can host the best backyard barbecue when you find a professional on Angie to make your backyard the best around. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
As a roofer, I'm always on the go. So I need to be able to get things done from anywhere. That's why I partnered with Beacon. With their unique Beacon Pro Plus app, I've got the brands I depend on, like GAF, right at my fingertips 24/7. I rely on Beacon because I never stop building, and neither do they. Now through September 15th, purchase GAF through Beacon Pro Plus and earn up to $1,500. Go to BECN.com or download the Beacon Pro Plus app today. Beacon, always building.
Hey, it's Rich Zioli. We all love summer, right? But the beach isn't just for summer. In fact, the beach, and in particular the Cape May beach, is just beautiful in the fall. If you haven't been to Cape May in the fall, you're missing out, and you should book your stay at the Grand Hotel of Cape May for a September to remember. The Grand offers special midweek packages so you can enjoy the beach without breaking the bank. Stay 2 nights and save 10%. Stay 3 nights, get 10% off and $55 a night in resort credits. Stay 5 nights, you're going to get 10% off and $65 a night in resort credits, and they can be used at Hemingway's for food and drink, the gift shop, and so much more. The Grand offers guest room suites and townhomes equipped with a kitchenette, and they have 2 huge heated pools, 1 outdoor and 1 indoor. I'm telling you, the Grand is my happy place, and you will not be disappointed. Book directly with them for the best rates. Book your stay today at 800-257-8550 or visit them online at grandhotelcapemay.com. And our next live show is Friday, September 6th. So book your stay today, grandhotelcapemay.com.
Get ready to hit it out of the park every time you fire up the grill this summer with Hatfield. Swing into action with Hatfield's variety of marinated pork, ground pork and sausage, ham, bacon, and your favorite Hatfield Phillies Franks. With over 24 distinct flavors that can be ready in minutes, Hatfield pork is food you'll feel good about serving. From home or at the ballpark, find your flavor with Hatfield, the official pork provider of the Phillies. Visit simplyhatfield.com for recipes and to find a retailer near you.
I am Judith Krupnik, president of Cherry Hill Volvo. I drive an absolutely fabulous XC90 hybrid, the best of both electric and internal combustion. It's really an incredible Volvo. We are offering a $15,000 discount when leasing any 2024 XC90 hybrid in stock. If ever an XC90 was on your list, now is the time to visit Cherry Hill Volvo. $15,000.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com. Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Broadcasting from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
All right, Dom Giordano Show. Welcome in. You got the side question. The Inquirer Spin Patrol. Boy, they have people working overtime over there. Now telling us they know from the interview with Shapiro that it wasn't the Jewish question. It wasn't Israel. It was that he had a lot of questions about being the second in command and actually what he would be doing. So Kamala Harris can't handle someone who might upstage them a bit, someone with talent. Here is Scott Jennings, Dan, then we'll take the calls on CNN, the Republican on there. This is cut 9C.
Interesting that President Trump himself said, I thought it was going to be Josh Shapiro, might have been a better choice. What do you make of Walz and how it either hurts or helps the ticket as a Republican looking to bring them down?
I agree with Trump. I thought it was going to be Shapiro, too. It's a must-win state. I guess he was too Jewish and too talented for this ticket. Look, Walz is a standard issue liberal Democrat from a blue state. Crime is up. Student achievement is down. They spend a lot of money. They raise taxes. But that's what Democrat governors do in blue states. And that's okay. What she did, in my opinion, was confirm her instincts. It's interesting to me that she has been trying to do away with the position she took in the 2020 presidential election. She never got out of 2019, but she took a lot of radical liberal positions. She's been trying to walk those back. Then she turns around and picks Walz, who is a traditional liberal Democrat. So I think it's a confusing message from the Democrat campaign. Is Kamala Harris moderating herself? Or is she confirming to us what she really is, which is a very, very progressive liberal, probably more so than most of the country?
Well, I think Walz is even more progressive based upon this, not just liberal. And it's amazing how that narrative out there, though, the Inquirer, the national people, oh, no, it wasn't the mob seething that Josh Shapiro might be quit. He was a little too aggressive. He was interviewing her, asking what he would do as vice president. Not a good fit, not a good number 2. So we had to go with this radical. Let's go to Robert in Ben Salem, Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Robert, good afternoon.
Hi, Dom, Dan. It's good to talk to you guys. I saw something that Ann Landers, of all people, sent in response to a teacher who wanted to teach the different governments without getting it all lost in the history. And she gave him the 2-cow way of doing that. Under socialism, you have 2 cows, but the government tells you should give one of your cows to your neighbor, okay? Mm-hmm. Under communism, you have 2 cows, and you give both cows to the government, and they may give you some milk. Under fascism, you have 2 cows. You give all the milk to the government, and the government sells it. Under Nazism, you have 2 cows. The government shoots you and takes both cows. And under anarchism, you have 2 cows, you keep both cows, steal another cow, and shoot the government agent that comes out to investigate. But under capitalism, you have 2 cows. You sell one, buy a bull.
And Landers.
Yeah, and Landers of all people. I just thought that was a real colorful way of describing it, especially in the Midwestern sense, right? Because they get cows out there. My answer to the side question, and it's the first thing that popped into my head when you said it, I'm going to go with Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz.
That is,
Nowhereville, Kansas, there's storm cellar doors, the traveling salesman, the old way of doing things. It just seemed to embody the Midwest to me.
Absolutely. Let's go to, I want to get a little more Bruce Springsteen to get Dan riled up here. Joe in Columbus, New Jersey on Springsteen. Joe, what do you have today?
Hey, Don, I'm so glad you guys are keeping Springsteen's false bravado alive and well, because I am an ex-fan of his going back to the early to mid-'70s. I think he became corrupted or changed when Hollywood took him under his wings. He was pure back then. And all you guys, if you ever have a chance, listen to this song, We Take Care of Our Own. It's only about 10 or 15 years old, and it is so darn hypocritical as compared to what's going on in today's society, where we're taking care of everybody but our own.
You know, and Joe, I think, again, they should fine-tune it. Trump's got the nub of it. This idea, and Vance is talking about it, that guys like Walz and other are going to tax you, but we're taking care of people that are here illegally. It's the home run.
Yeah, and it's just, and I have ties with Springsteen. My buddy dated Kathy Van Zandt, Miami Steve's sister. I met everybody in the band. It was crazy. You know, I was tied into that, and I was emotionally involved. I can't take him anymore. I really can't. But Dom, I got to ask you something. How does a high hurler not able to sidestep a golf ball?
That's a great point. He says he can outrun a bear, and he can't.
Well, wait a minute though.
Well,
but you know
what, Dom, you got to stop playing these golf courses that have the par fours side by side. I'd like to take you to Makefield Highlands one day to play with me and a couple of my buddies. It's a gorgeous golf course. I play with one of the singers in the Grease band. He's a great golf instructor, but he's a better golf buddy. So the invitation's there for you.
Oh, we'll do it. I just want to know, do you have caddies or do you have carts?
No, we have carts. I got old baseball.
Okay, well, if Dan is made to caddy, I would do it in a heartbeat.
Get out of here.
Can he caddy 2 bags?
Yes, of course.
He's going to carry his bags.
Give him a $5 tip at the end. Yes, he's carrying your bags.
Make a day out of it.
Yeah, exactly. Joe, I will practice up a little bit more.
Pelka might be
I'm golfing again this weekend. I don't know the course. Luke picks it out, so hopefully you're right. This has internal, for golfers, it has internal out-of-bounds, Joe, a lot of them. When you have that, you know that's trouble. Yeah.
Yeah, but some of these courses, Dom, the one hole comes side by side with the next, you're going to get hurt. It's happened to me. It's happened to everybody.
But I was in the fairway, though, with guys on my own hole, Joe. That's the difference.
Yeah. And those guys were hitting up your back, and that's there's no excuse for that.
Yeah, exactly. Joe, what's your Midwest?
Well, coming from the best pizza state in the Union, I can't stand pan pizza, and it gets rammed down our throats. Chicago pan pizza.
Wow. Taking a shot at Chicago, too. I love it, where the Democrats will be eating pan pizza. Can you see this Walz guy with the pizza there, Dan, in Chicago? Yeah. Oh, man.
And since when does Detroit have good pizza? Where did this come from?
Yeah, where did that come from? It's like rubber there. Yeah, come on. Let's just go to South Philly. That's where the pizza is. All right. I see a winner there, Dan. Way down, Bruce in the Northeast, Scott of Mount Laurel. Oh, I got to spend time getting them. We need extra time. Coming up, the lightning round here. But first, now's the time to get Rescue Natural Supplements during their annual Customer Appreciation Sale. Rescue is celebrating you. Save 50% when you mix and match any 5 products or more with the code VIP50. Plus, you get free shipping. Try the popular Rescue 1250 Omega-3 for heart health. Rescue Probiotic for better digestion. Rescue Oracine for more energy. Again, just mix and match any 5 or more single bottles. Enjoy 50% off plus free shipping. To place an order, visit res-q.com or call 800-26-ALIVE. Again, that's 800-262-5483. Speak with a knowledgeable Rescue product consultant. If you're new to Rescue, be sure to create your own account to earn more exclusive savings. Again, use the code VIP50 to receive 50% off and free shipping when you mix and match 5 or more rescued natural supplements. That code again, VIP50 at res-q.com.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
What happens when Washington liberals spend trillions of dollars? Just look around. Prices are way up. They pushed a bunch of reckless spending, and Senator Bob Casey voted for it. Now we're paying higher gas prices, higher grocery prices, and higher utility bills. Casey helped create this mess by voting with President Biden 98% of the time, including voting for trillions in wasteful spending. Instead of listening to the warnings, Senator Casey sided with the liberals, causing this inflation disaster. Casey voted to let illegals take your tax dollars. He voted to let illegals collect $500 million in COVID relief checks. It's more for illegals and less for us. Come on, Senator Casey. That's just not right. Call Senator Casey at 202-224-6324. Tell him to put Pennsylvania families first and fix his inflation disaster. Support S575, the Fight Inflation Through Balanced Budgets Act. Paid for by One Nation, onenationamerica.org.
Fargo, your virtual assistant from Wells Fargo, makes banking faster and easier. Like this.
Fargo, what did I spend on groceries last month?
And this.
Fargo, turn off my debit card.
And this.
Fargo, what's my checking account routing number?
And that's just the beginning. Do you, Fargo? You can in the Wells Fargo mobile app. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/getfargo.
Fargo is only available on the smartphone versions of the Wells Fargo mobile app. Wells Fargo Bank N.A., member FDIC.
40 days up to 40 pounds. Say it with me, 40 days up to 40 pounds. Visit njdiet.com or call 855-5NJ-DIET. That's 855-5NJ-DIET. 40 days up to 40 pounds. 40 days up to 40 pounds.
This is Dr. Marianne Ritchie. Tune in to Your Radio Doctor every Saturday afternoon at 5 here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT for the latest healthcare news and information, because your health is your wealth. That's Your Radio Doctor, Saturdays at 5.
La 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 la.
Oops. Ever had your singing lessons cut short by icy water?
Oh, I'm sorry, honey.
Say goodbye to those cold notes with Navien tankless water heaters. With Navien, you'll hit all the right notes without the surprise chill. So keep singing and let Navien keep the hot water flowing. And get ready for the encore when you get your utility bill.
La 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 la.
Navien tankless water heaters. Visit tanklessmadesimple.com.
Do you feel like you're going through life clouded by doubt? Talk to California Psychics. Our trusted and accurate psychics are available 24/7. And we guarantee if it's not life-changing, it's free. Download the app or connect with us at CaliforniaPsychics.com. Right now, new customers get 80% off their first reading. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Hey, Percy, we know your favorite station is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Remember to take us anywhere with the free Odyssey app.
The time has come for the final test.
We usually call it the lightning round.
We do call it the lightning round. Dom's lightning round, sponsored by Cherry Hill Volvo. Right now, Cherry Hill Volvo is offering a $15,000 discount when leasing any in-stock 2024 XC90 Hybrid. They always go the extra mile for their customers at Cherry Hill Volvo. The lightning round has prominence here. Let's go to Bruce in the Northeast. Something associated with the Midwest, like this gas bag Minnesota governor. Bruce in the Northeast. Hey, Bruce, good afternoon.
Hey, Dom, good afternoon. Yeah, this guy's an iconic Midwesterner, and I'll give you his introduction. Here's Johnny. That would be Johnny Carson.
That's flyover country. That's where Johnny was the king, and he never forgot that. Absolutely. Yeah. That is a good one. So was Leno, not Letterman, though.
Bruce is emerging as one of the top side question cards.
Man,
Sang yesterday's answer.
Yeah,
won.
he did.
Had a great answer today, man.
Win in New Jersey. Win, what's yours?
Mine is Jim Thorpe. We're talking Olympics. He lost his medals, great athlete, and he was a great star.
Yeah, Pennsylvania with Jim Thorpe, Dan. The Jim Thorpe movie, they show up, there's 16 events. The one guy runs a 100-yard dash in 200. They ask, what does Thorpe do? Everything else. Oh, man. Let's go to the Earl of Tacony. Earl, how about yours?
Here's a story. As the pioneers moved west and they came to the Midwest and to the treeless, grassy plains, there was grass everywhere. They couldn't plow it, so they dug it up in great big chunks and turned the sod into houses. And these sod busters went and planted crops, and they had plenty of rain and wonderful crops. And then suddenly the rain stopped, and all that topsoil that was exposed turned to dust, and black blizzards and drifts of dirt were blown around to the point where they actually came to the top of telegraph poles, and they had to put wet towels under their doors to keep the dust from coming in from the great dust bowl of the 1930s.
I never knew that, Dan. We say all the time, you got to educate on it. I never knew where it came from. Scott of Mount Laurel. All right, Scott, what's yours today?
Every Midwestern state's got one of those accents. Whether they're from Wisconsin or Minnesota, they always got an accent.
Accent. Dad.
We don't have any accent here, right? I don't have any South Philly accent. What are you talking about?
Yeah. We speak the right way. They have the accents.
Thank you, Scott. Beautifully played. Dan, contenders.
Field of Dreams from Eric and Belmar. The guy that gets, he's a magnet for golf balls. Said a ricochet hit him in the head once. He's got hit a bunch of times. Great answer there. Great call. Chicago Pan Pizza from Joe in Columbus. Another great call as well. Johnny Carson with the impression from Bruce and Northeast. Dorothy from Robert. The Dust Bowl and the information.
They were great.
Some great answers today. I'm leaning towards Eric and Belmar with Field of Dreams, though.
Yep. Great call. And also Field of Dreams. Put him into the hat. By the way, don't forget Don Trump Jr., our big event. I know September 12th seems a million years away. It's on the horizon. Get your tickets, 1210WPHT.com. Going to be a fabulous night. Rich Zioli next, 4 big hours. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-700-6898. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your